This episode of the Grappler Union podcast is brought to you by BJJTees. Go to bjjtees.com, enter the promo code Grappler Union, and save 10% off all your jiu-jitsu apparel. Go to bjjtees.com today. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Grappler Union podcast. Paul Maloney alongside Anthony Zito. On this episode, we have Kristian Woodmansee in studio. Kristian's an Atos representative and a black belt under Andre Galvao. He's the head instructor and program director at Roots Athletics in Philadelphia, and he's a brown belt world champ. Enjoy.
I hate the 6 minutes. That's what happens in that 6 minutes.
You told me, using any technique that works, never to limit myself to one style. Keep an open mind.
We're not here just to take part, we're here to take over.
In order to become more peaceful, in order for you to become better and strategize your life.
All right, we're live. We're on. I hope you guys don't go into a food coma after those Portillo's burgers.
It was a small burger.
It was small. Wasn't the double?
I had the salad.
Reluctantly.
I'm so proud of myself.
The lady at the front
You really
counter
weren't
was
sure.
like,
You're like, oh, should I get a chopped salad?
And she's like, do you want 2 salads, sir? You're like, no, I'm just undecided. Get the fucking burger, man.
Sorry.
Get the cheese fries. Stop being a little bitch.
Food really affects how I feel, man.
It does, but...
I'm going to be nice and chipper for the podcast.
Yes, I see. It's a noon podcast, though.
Midday podcast.
Midday podcast.
High noon.
High noon, yep. With Kristian. right off of like a week of training.
How'd you like the blue line?
It was interesting.
He took the blue line there. I picked him up.
Super interesting.
Yeah.
And like, he was like, what
Smells
stop
like
do you get
piss.
off? And I'm like, I'm looking at my phone and it's telling me to get off at a certain stop. And then like, I'm looking around. I'm like, I wonder if I'm in the right place. And I'm not sure. Because I haven't been around Chicago too much, like driving around. But it was, I usually take the brown line when I'm by the loop. And it's a little bit of a different vibe. But
Yeah.
it was cool. Somebody was sleeping, kind of had a weird smell.
Yeah.
But it was nice.
Yeah.
It definitely served its purpose. So can't complain.
Well, that's good.
You know,
right.
Zito's never been on the train before?
No.
Never been on the L. I don't know how that's possible. Dude.
Doesn't have to.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's your birthday?
42.
It was the 26th, a couple of days ago.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Master 7. Is that what that is?
That's awful.
It's Masters 3, thank you.
Dude, the Masters division is like no fucking joke anymore.
Yep.
It's just as dangerous as the adult sometimes.
Yeah,
If not more.
Yeah.
right.
100%.
Yeah, you're not there yet, though, are you?
No. I don't think, my personal goals, I don't know, like this my present moment, like I'll probably never compete as a master. I feel like once I can't hang at adult, like I'll be like, I don't really want to compete anymore. I'm already at that stage anyway, but, well, not completely, but I feel like once I'm like, oh, I don't really want to do this anymore. I'm not fast enough. My body's not recovering that same way. Then I'll just be like, I'll just kick it and just do like small open events at an adult, and then just worry about focusing on my students. But
Yeah.
I don't want to go to masters. Those dudes are. I don't have old man strength, so I can't pull that off. Those dudes are scary.
Yeah.
Some of those dudes have been black belts longer than I even know what jiu-jitsu was. So.
Yeah, that's
You see
true.
like Tavares fighting. Like, saw all those guys, and you're like, how many stripes are on their belt? And I don't know what's going on. I mean, they're still monsters too, so it gets a little different as like the weights go down. So, but yeah, it's masters is scary. It's just not for me. I'm gonna stay away from that shark.
But you said you're taking a break. I saw a post that you're like, I'm done fighting or something.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like when I was really, really in competing and I was a brown belt and I was consistent with my accomplishments and what I was doing, I had like this like, I don't care about anybody's feelings. I just want to hurt people and like go on the mat, and I had like that fire. And I feel like once I became more inconsistent with my like results at competition, I started to be like, well, my why for why I was competing started changing. And I was like, I mean, since I was a child, I always wanted to have a family. So like then I was getting closer to seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, like, oh, I can have a family soon. And then I think my why just changed. So now it's like I have my moments where you can't talk to me when I'm on the mat, and it's like we're going to go really hard. But then I have days where I'm just kind of like, I'm just not into it today. I just want to train and like have fun. So, but we'll see. I mean, I committed to competing on the 5th, August 5th. So like that's next week, I believe. And then after that, I'm just going to kind of like try and rekindle the fire, just focus on my students, focus on training, and if it comes back, it comes back, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But we'll give it a go because I know it's important too for my students to see me compete and to compete alongside them. So maybe that'll bring something up. Maybe having a baby will be like, okay, now this is what we can fight for. So I don't know, but right now I'm just kind of like, I'm on the fence. I'd rather just sit there and hang out a little bit. So I don't believe in like stepping on the mat unless I'm like able to give my all. Like I think it's disrespectful to my opponents. Like I want to show up and be able for them to be like, oh man, I really appreciate the fight, and I'm like, oh, what happened? So if I can't do that, I just don't want to show up at all.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's a good way to be. I mean, you never want to just go in half-ass anything. It is almost disrespectful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially at your high level. I'm not talking about like white, blue, but black belt level where you're like, you don't be like, take it like,
Well, it's tough too because I mean, like
lazy.
a lot of a lot of these guys, like I mean, Flow Grappling will be like, oh, we're gonna do an interview on you. You're getting ready to do this and do this, and it's like, yeah, okay, cool, whatever. And and like the more you market yourself, you put yourself out there, and it's like, I want to be the best in the world. I want to show up, and you're kind of like, you're not faking it till you make it, but to a degree, I'm just kind of like, man, this is kind of like I'm just not into it anymore. So like, you can't interview and talk to me about like competing against Kaio, and I'm just kind of like, it's whatever, So,
Right.
I mean, we'll see what happens, but I want to make sure that I'm able to, whether it's not the same as it was, but try to just have the same amount of fire going and competing again. So if I can figure out how to rekindle that fire to create a new one, that's great. Sure. But if it's not there, then I'm just gonna stay away from it. Just be supportive for people who are.
Right. Yeah. And how was that, Kyle?
Oh, it was awful.
Match?
Physically, mentally, when it happened, it was awful.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never really been nervous to fight. I've never been like, oh, this is gonna be bad. And I was just everything from the moment he said yes, because he asked me. And then I was like, yeah, I want to do it. And then Seth, and then he asked Kaio, and then Kaio agreed. So it was like once that happened, everything just felt different. Like, and I mean, I've gone to tournaments and won things that are very accomplished to the point where it's just like this shouldn't matter. I could remember as a purple belt, like I want to fight Kaio one day and break his leg, but like now it's like, oh, we're actually here. So I don't know. It was a good learning experience. Kaio and me had a good exchanging of words afterwards, and it was like I was super respectful about it. And like he had some incredibly, I felt like he was like my conscious, and he was talking to me, and it was like super deep, and he was talking to me about being a father and a husband and a family man, and how like things will change and whatnot. So he was super respectful, and I appreciated him. Like, I mean, to a degree, like letting the people know realistically about my potential and capabilities, and that like for him to beat me, like it was something that wasn't going to be an easy thing. So I really, really appreciated that. And then like, but he murdered me. Like I've lost really bad 2 times in my career. One was Kai and one was Gio, but I had the same, like I just wasn't into competing anymore. So it was the same thing for both. But like I've never been beat like that. It's usually the other way around. It's usually me beating people like that. So it was a hit to my ego. It was a hit to like my confidence. It was a hit to like, why am I doing this? And it's just like, so it was kind of like this straw that broke the camel's back. And then I was just like, you know what, like, here's your reinforcement. Let's not do this anymore until we're ready, if we're ready, and like be more of a man, be a better example to your students. So that was
But then you came out on the Philly card and won.
Yeah, and it was weird because like my girlfriend and a bunch of people were like, oh, you nervous, you're excited? I'm like, no. I don't care. They're like, well, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I'm just gonna go out there and beat the guy and like just get my money and leave. Like, I wasn't into it at all.
But
like,
that's your hometown, right?
That's my hope. Yeah, like my mom and dad have seen me. Like my dad went to Pan Am's and watched me at Pan Am's. Like they've seen me like fight MMA. Sure. But like I haven't done it in many years. So like my mom was screaming like I won something that the president was. It was crazy. I'm just like, it's not a big deal.
Awesome.
But yeah, so like that was cool. But like I just wasn't into it. Like. I mean, like at Pan Am's and Worlds, like I got my headphones on, and I'm like bopping, I'm moving, I'm like, yeah, man, we're gonna kill somebody today. And like there, I was just kind of like sitting down, like they called my name, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. We go out and like walked out to a song that I'd never walk out before, and I just like, you know what, like, sorry, bro, like I don't want to hurt you, so like maybe like we'll just, but the dude was super cool, he's respectful too. So, but it was weird. It was just like I felt like emotionless. There was no highs or lows. It was just like. It didn't even feel like I was training. It was just kind of like I feel like I'm about to watch a movie. It was nothing. So we'll see. We'll see if like maybe that's how I have to be to compete successfully. But I mean, I felt like I could have done a lot better during the fight. But I mean, I fight again and we'll see what happens. But like even this one, like I haven't even thought about it. I'm just kind of like I'll have moments where I'm like, oh, we should train pretty hard, and then it's like, nah, it's cool. You're already good at jiu-jitsu. So just like just mentally stay focused on what you're doing. So I'm preparing for a lot of things like in life, and I'm just like. oh, we got to worry about who's going to be our cable Wi-Fi provider and who's going to mount the TV. I'm not even worried about jiu-jitsu right now.
Right.
So it's just, we'll see what happens. We'll go out there. But, you know, like I said, maybe that's my successful formula moving forward to be able to compete.
Right. So you're leaving. So you're leaving tomorrow night.
Correct.
You've got to head on a train back to Michigan, and then drive 9 hours
to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody actually knows. So, like, not even my parents know. It's really cool. I've been trying to, like, keep it, like, super top secret, which is nice. We can talk about it now because no one's going to hear about it until later. But,
right.
I mean, it's been premeditated, been working on it a while. So, basically, yeah, we drive to Philly, and, like, my mom and my dad think I'm in town because the fight's Friday. And they'd have no idea. So, like, we're actually having dinner on Sunday, the day that I get there, just 6 or 7 hours later. And just be like, hey, just want to let you know that Brandy and I are moving here. And then they're going to be like, what? You know, crazy. So,
awesome.
We've got a lot of things planned, so I'm going to share it with them and just be like, hey, this is what we've got going on. So my dad, like, I said, like, oh, we need to go have dinner. And he's like, is Brandy pregnant? And I'm like, no, she's not pregnant. Relax, you know. So, but it'll be cool. So yeah, it's the next step. So move to Philly, start doing what I feel like my purpose in life is, and then just keep moving forward. You know, my goals of what I want to accomplish and be by my family while doing it.
Yeah, and the academy that you're going to be leading up is Roots.
Roots Athletics. Yeah, it's currently it's like Fairmount. It's in Philadelphia, obviously, but really nice neighborhoods being built up. It's super safe. It's nice. The environment at the actual academy is awesome. It's not like a heavy hitter in the sense of like it has a bunch of higher belts, or it's like known for like its competitiveness, but like it's got really good people in the sense of like character and like who you would want around you, who you want to be your students, who you want to be your staff. So like I can imagine showing up and being part of something better, especially that I didn't create from scratch myself. So I'll have people that like I've experienced their jiu-jitsu with and I've trained alongside of, and so it'll be nice. So like that's the game plan. It'll be interesting because I'll be showing up and none of them even know. The only people who know are the staff. So like, like we've been talking about, like, oh, there's going to be a new instructor, and like I can't say anything. So like I'll just show up like, oh, hey, so now I'm the new dude. Wow. And we'll see what happens. So, and
aesthetically, the academy, you were describing it to me earlier.
Man, it's beautiful. It's like it's all white. Like it's not like AOJ in the sense of like everything's white, because I feel like everything is white in AOJ. I mean, everything is white there too, but like there's a lot of like
Roll Academy. Is it kind of similar to that style? Or?
To a degree, Roll Academy, it's the same thing. So like it's got white wall pads, it's got white mats, but like then it's got like this unique like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's this bamboo and like wood everywhere. Like everything's like framed out, and like the bathrooms are super nice, stand up showers. Like there's a towel. Like it's just super like modernized. And Philadelphia does not have that. Philadelphia is very like gritty, old school. Put a tarp on the floor. We'll clean it. It smells gross in here, but we're gonna train kind of hard. So, I mean, so it's like it's super modernized. It's basically what West Coast Jiu-Jitsu is. Now it's on the East Coast, you know, and like now I'm bringing West Coast Jiu-Jitsu to the East Coast as well. Nice. So it's a good combination.
Yeah, wow, that's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah.
Recently, I went to Carlson Gracie for the first time.
Okay.
I went to a seminar over at Juniors, and that's a nice academy. It's really nice. You've been there, obviously, right? So I was like, so it's in the basement. I pulled up, parked across the street, and you have to pay for parking. It's because it's right there in the city. And then I was like, I called my cousin Tommy. I'm like, hey Tommy, you here? Because I know you had to like, I guess he had to let you in or whatever. He's like, no, I'm about 20 minutes away.
Tommy, I have to introduce you. Hey, right. This is a friend of ours.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, right. So I'm like, all right, I'll just wait in my car. I'm like, oh wait, I see Carlson like walking across the street with all the guys. He's like, oh, just go up to him. You met him already. He knows who you are. I'm like, all right. So I walked up to him, and the guys, I noticed that they looked at me. So I got my gym bag. I'm just wearing a white T-shirt, and one of the guys just looks, and he looks at my ears, and he's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, oh yeah,
right.
He's like, oh yeah, you train. I'm like, yeah, thank you, I train. So then they did the Carlson handshake, and
they accepted you.
They accepted me into their pack. But my cell phone did not work at all downstairs.
Yeah.
Like it was like dead signal.
Yeah.
So that was actually kind of nice because it was middle of the day when I went, and it was like a Friday afternoon, so I don't have to worry about phone calls. But they have like 4 showers in the stall, beautiful mat space.
Yeah.
This was nice and cool down there. I thought it'd be like humider, but it was.
No, have you ever been to the Loop location for Redzovics or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I haven't been to Loop. Not that one, right?
It's on Michigan.
No, not that
Michigan.
one.
It's the same thing. Like
you
walk in and you're like, there's jiu-jitsu in this place. Yeah. And like you walk in this door, you go through a couple doors, you go down 2 flights of stairs. You're like, what's gonna happen. Like it's beautiful, like
Yeah.
it's the way it's laid out. And you're like no cell phone service, you know, and it's like bathroom, showers, like
Right.
super late, huge TV, long mats. So it's like it's kind of similar, you know. Like I guess like I've only been to a few different places in Chicago, but like I haven't found a place yet where I'm just kind of like, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
You know, so like it's super nice. Chicago has nice like I think like culture jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Nobody's trying to be gross and be like, we only get ring room once a month here. It's like, oh, okay. It's good. But yeah, it's super nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good seminar too.
I might not have been allowed in if I didn't have
You
cauliflower.
probably-
I don't have
yeah.
any
You
cauliflower.
have yeah, I don't know what's.
I don't
you believe
get.
this guy?
I don't get it.
Some
don't
would
get
say
it.
you don't train hard enough.
Yeah, that's what someone would
Dude.
say. Maybe that's the
Kidding
problem.
me? Shut up! I train more than you do. And
It's
you-
true. Now you do. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
It's not about quantity. It's about quality.
Oh,
I said
maybe.
hard enough.
Hard
not
enough.
often.
That's
There
right.
you go.
I don't go hard enough.
Yeah, there you go.
You show up, but are you showing up?
Yeah. Well, I do have. Look, I got the calluses on the fingers.
Yeah, it's coming in
I got
nice.
some nice spider guard calluses
Yes.
going. So
That's why, because
Where-
you're
where
not
yours
getting
at?
near your head. You're
Yeah.
just staying. You're just
yeah.
keeping them away.
Sorry, I'm not getting smashed all the time, guys.
Or smashing.
Or smashing it.
Uh,
There you go.
That's true.
Poor Paul.
How do you get cauliflower always falling back for straight ankle locks? and
I don't know. I don't know, man. It happens, but it's weird because I only get on the one ear. And I'm not getting much on the left ear.
Did
I know
you
it's-
like not have it and then you just had it all of a sudden, or how did it work?
No, it started coming in, and then we drained it at Paul's house one night after at a UFC.
Yeah, who drained it?
Milos.
Milos,
Yeah, he
yeah.
drained it. He's like, "Come here, I fix it. I do it all the time." I'm like, "All right."
Yeah.
Stuck me with a needle, pulled it out, and then after that, it then looks like it does now.
He's
It's kinda
he's another dude who got cauliflower ear like
Instantly.
within like weeks of
Yeah.
starting to train.
yeah. But he constantly drains. I
Yeah.
let it go.
That's
I was
like you can't quit now.
No, you can't.
You know,
right? You can't.
was that
yeah.
one
You're
post where
committed.
it's like you got to keep fighting now, or else you're just going to be an ugly dude
Yep.
who can't
Gotta be
fight
back
or
up.
something.
Right.
You know,
exactly. That's so true.
maybe one day I'll get some.
How long you been training for?
Shit, 5 years.
Maybe just like I hear people like they'll put pliers in their ears and they'll squeeze it trying to if you really want it.
Yeah, that's true. I could. I mean, Nathan Orchard doesn't have any cauliflower ear.
Yeah, I don't think.
There's some dudes out
Josh
there that
Bassini doesn't have
that
any.
have perfect ears and it's just the genetics, I guess. Or
Yeah.
whatever, maybe. But some dudes have some gnarly ears. So
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
BJ Penn, ooh, that's
Yeah.
nasty shit.
BJ Penn, Randy Couture.
Randy Couture.
He came. Can he even hear out of those?
Yeah.
I know. How do you get like an earbud in there?
No.
Like how
I
do
don't
you?
think you can. You gotta wear beats. Gotta wear
How do you
beats.
listen to our podcast with
Yeah.
ears like that,
Come on,
man?
Randy. What are you doing?
Yeah, dude.
It's big enough just for a Q-tip. There's no other space in there. It's super small.
Yeah, that's terrible. Well, it happens. I mean, I don't mind it. To be honest with you, it doesn't bother me. Initially, I was kind of like, ugh. Remember I used to wear a headgear?
Yeah.
Oh no.
So
Yeah,
annoying.
I was
I
that
know.
guy.
He was that guy.
Yeah. No.
I wouldn't even have
Spats,
trained with you.
headgear.
No, right?
No,
Because
he'd
like,
be like,
fuck
you want to
you,
roll?
dude.
And I'd be like,
No, dude.
Nah, not really.
no headgear.
Yeah.
Headgear hurts me more than anything. I'm like, dude, get your headgear off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's
Or just teach guys like that a lesson. Just start guillotining them from everywhere. You know what I mean? What's wrong? You can't slide your head out?
yeah. Yeah, and I don't wear that anymore. I don't do that.
We appreciate that.
Yeah. there's a lot
Zito's
of-
making a lot of changes lately.
I am.
He dropped the spats,
I
moved
dropped
down
the
to
spats.
shorts.
Just shorts.
Were
Which
you
I
just spats? Or were you
I
spats
was-
and shorts?
He was
Just spats.
Just spats with the cup.
with the cup. I dropped all that. Now I'm shorts.
What are you smirking about, Christian?
It's just funny to hear everybody's different. I just always you always go somewhere. There's always like there's a dude that just wears spats, no shirt or something like that, just spats.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh hey, what's up, man? Nothing. It's like this is gonna be really awkward.
Yeah.
I don't mind. It is what it is. But luckily, you're wearing a cup. Most people don't. So,
Oh yeah, that's a little
but yeah,
strange.
it's
just
Yeah.
spats without a cup.
yeah.
It's a little weird.
It's
Just
weird.
spats.
I don't need to see what your cock looks like. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Well, and then most people like. I mean, I've trained with dudes that just don't wear underwear either. So whether it's their gi or their spats, it's just that's all they're wearing. So
Oh, wow.
it's like I don't know. If I
Well, the
want-
IBJJF, you have to wear underwear.
you're
right?
required
Yeah.
to.
You're required to. But then, I don't know, are they checking? Probably not.
No, but if it gets pulled, they'll just instantly disqualify.
Oh,
you.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone gets a butt grip and they're pulling and they see like you don't have underwear on. They're like,
Right.
stop, instant
You're out.
disqualification.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, why
Who
would you
got
not wear
disqualified?
underwear?
Bill the Grill Cooper got disqualified, didn't he?
When?
Fuck.
Did he?
Wait, yeah, back in the day.
For not wearing underwear?
In a big match, too. I think
my
it was at
God.
World. Yeah, for not wearing underwear.
Wow.
It's huge.
Why is that? I think
Yeah, I don't know.
Wear
I guess
underwear.
It's resilience.
Yeah.
When you're the boss, you can make any rules you like,
Yes.
To me, like, I wear boxer briefs. Like, I don't want my nuts flopping around. You know what I mean?
No, I wear. The shorts I wear now, Moscovo. Is that how you say it?
Moscovos, yeah.
Yeah, that's the ones I wear. Those are great.
Yeah. No, they're super nice.
They are really nice.
Yeah.
Do you have a pair?
No.
Why not?
I
What you
don't
doing,
know.
man? You train
Tell
more
them
than me.
to sponsor the podcast and send us a care package.
Yes.
Shout out to Tony. Tony sent some Moscovas.
Oh, you know the guy?
I'm sponsored by Moscova.
Well, there you
All I can
go.
wear-
Look, I didn't
all I
know
can
that.
wear is
I didn't know
Moscova.
that either.
All right, well, you got to hook us up after this
He's a
because
good
I
dude,
love
yeah.
that. Those
Really
are
nice underwear.
great.
They're coming out some like different new designs. Like they're more like even more athletic, I should
Oh,
say.
really?
Where it's like different paneling, so like you won't have like a different feeling, I guess. But yeah, they're the best underwear. I've ever
They're
worn.
great. They're the
Yeah.
best. They really are.
Yeah.
I'm no joke. And only reason why I saw an Instagram post where somebody was at one of the stores wherever in California or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder if there's something to this. So
Yeah,
I
their
ordered one.
Their storefront is in Costa Mesa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'll order one pair. And I ordered. I'm like, fuck, these fit.
They're awesome.
So nice, tight, and just like.
What's cool about them
comfortable.
is all the tags have I don't know if you noticed that they have the seam is done, so you can pull one, effortlessly pull one, and the whole tag will come off, and then you can just don't have to worry about ripping the underwear. It's super cool. So like it's got two
I like
tags on
that.
the inside, you can just pull the tag off.
Nice.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I like companies like that, like
Yeah.
them.
How much is a pair of their underwear?
30-something bucks.
30 something? Yeah. See, I have MeUndies.
Yeah.
You ever?
I
have them?
wear MeUndies just like normal.
Fucking great underwear.
But I won't wear them for jiu-jitsu.
They're $20 a pair,
Yeah.
but they're worth it.
Yeah, for sure. But not for jiu-jitsu.
I feel really sexy in them when I wear them.
Look good, fight.
It's just a great way to start your day.
But you wear boxer or you wear the boxer brief?
The briefs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Briefs.
I just speaking from personal preference, and girls like Moscovas. If
Do
you-
they?
Yeah. If you
Okay.
Need, yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to feel
they look
sexy.
good.
Okay. I want to feel as sexy as possible.
Moscow also makes girl underwear as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I think I have like 5 pairs of them. You know, I think that's enough for jiu-jitsu.
That's enough. Yeah.
So you only wear them for jiu-jitsu.
Only wear for jiu-jitsu, yeah. I
They're
don't
only
wear,
jiu-jitsu day underwear.
and me, yeah, exactly. And
Got it.
MeUndies I wear.
But he has
for
like
regular.
10 geese. What's that about?
Yeah, I do have 10 geese. I don't know. I like geese. I just bought my. I gave one away. I gave one to Javi,
Okay.
and then I had 9, and then I bought a shoyo roll Ruka one.
Oh, that was expensive, huh?
Yeah,
Pretty penny.
but it's so nice. Actually, it was a little large. When I put I'm an A0, which you
Yeah.
right. So I put it on. I'm like, oh fuck, this thing's a little bit big. So I threw it.
Did
in
you
the-
get an A0 as
Yeah,
well?
I got it A0, and I'm like, fucking, it's long, and it was a little long. I'm like, oh shit. So I just washed
Put it in
it,
the dryer.
dried it, and it shrunk up perfect.
Nice.
Christian, you look like your geese are like tailor made.
It's because they are.
Are they?
Yeah.
It's funny. I asked him that same question when
Oh,
we were
really?
at the
Yeah,
Roll Academy.
Hyperfly. Because usually I wear an A0.
Uh-huh.
Like when I'm sponsored by Control Industries, I wear an A0 or A00, depending on their cuts and whatnot. But Hyperfly was like, oh, okay, so we can give you an A0. But some of the geese, I was just like, man, like I'm not comfortable in these.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I was wearing Kids M4, which is like very, very similar to the A0 anyway. And then I was just like, sometimes I'd go to an IBGF event, and they would like, if I was, depending on what event it was, like if it was a local event where it was like, they were bringing in people to run like events, like, you know, like how like when you go to Worlds, like you're like, oh, it's the same kind of refs, it's the high end refs, it's the people working, you know, so like those people know me. I can be like, hey, what's up, man? How are things? But you go to an open event, they don't care who you are. They don't even know what jiu-jitsu is. They're just doing their job.
Yeah.
So like my gi wouldn't pass. And I'd be like, oh man, I got to figure this thing out. So
Wouldn't pass what? Like in the
for
inspection?
me, like, you know, they do that thing in the
Yes.
sleeve. So they used to do like the clamp thing where it looked like an iPhone almost. And they just like pinch on both sides and it goes all the way up. That would always pass. But now they do that weird shoe thing, like they put that thing on a stick in your sleeve, and like, I mean, first of all, I don't know how a dude wearing an A4 is using the same tools a dude wearing an A0, but it is what it is anyway. And like, it would go to like my elbow, and he'd be like, no, and I'm like, push, and he's like, no, and I'm like, push, and he's like, and it just wouldn't go. And he goes, I'm not passing your gi. And then I'm like showing a photo. I'm like, I'm wearing this gi, winning Pan Ams. Like here, like look at, like it's the same gi. Like look at this photo. And the guy comes over and he's like, oh, it's fine, just let him go. And I'm like,
Yeah.
cool, thanks. Actually, it happened to me in Europe.
Yeah. So
at
what was
Europeans.
the problem? They thought it was too tight around the tricep.
Yeah, because like the stick is supposed to slide from your wrist all the way up to your armpit. So
Okay.
if it doesn't reach your armpit, they say that the regulation width is not legal.
Right.
So like if your biceps are too jacked, I mean I don't know what it
Right,
is, but
yeah.
like my forearms are the same size as my biceps, so I don't really know what the problem is. But yeah, so like it just wouldn't fit, and then like talk to Hyperfly, and they're like, oh, like let's make you your own size, and I was like, okay, cool. So we came out the A0S, and they used the dimensions for my size, and that was it.
A0S.
Yeah. So the A0S basically, because the A0 width of the sleeve is bigger, but the S makes it shorter, so it's the size of the M4. So it's basically an M4 length sleeve with an A0 width. So it's A0S. Yeah.
And then they'd take all your measurements, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've had them done before. So like, oh, like it'll be this, blah,
Right,
blah,
right.
and then they correspond and they check their things. Like, okay, blah, blah, and that was it. So
What
now
about
here's this.
design wise and everything like that?
Well, actually, all the gis that they have, I've never really been a part of anything like that. And then just recently, we came out with my own gi. So I was the first athlete to have a Hyperfly gi out of all the other athletes. So that was the Dream Killer gi, and like I did all the designing for that, and I did everything else. So like that gi just went live, and I think they sold out. It was like we did a small amount. It was like a show your old batch type stuff, like
Yeah.
very limited. But like I designed everything from head to toe with that, along with Lawrence, the guy who does the kid who it's a whole family business, but he's the son, and we just like corresponded. I said this is what I want, blah blah blah. Did a sample, did another sample, put it to production. That was it. So I actually have it in my bag. It's the gi I wear all the time now. So
yeah?
it's my gi. People are like, oh, it's a nice gi. Whose is it? And I go, it's mine. Like, no, but who makes it? And I was like, me.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
So what is that Dream? Is it Dream Killer?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
my nickname.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And then you have the Killer, all the.
Yeah, so it's weird. So like when the nickname was given to me, like I started like making it my own separate entity. So like I was kind of like I started making T-shirts and stuff like that because it was like I don't want it to be me, but like other people can be dream killers. Like the whole thing, of course, like came up when it was just like you go to Worlds and everybody's dream is to win Worlds, right? So like in order to win Worlds, you've got to kill everybody else's dream if you want yours to succeed. So I
Right.
became the dream killer. It's like world champion. That's how it was. Like okay, cool, but like you can embody that. So like
Exactly.
people that are thinking about doing something, it's like okay, well like in the sense of competition, there's other people out there. Like we can't all be friends to a degree. So it's like if you want to win and I want to win, and that's my dream, it's your dream. Someone here has to not have their dream fulfilled in order for the other one to be fulfilled. So I was just trying to push that on people. Like everybody can be a dream killer. So the Dream Killer kind of, it's my nickname, but it pushed off into being its own thing, and now it's like it's its own brand, I guess you could say.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I've got like my Kristian Woodmansee logo, which is like for like jiu-jitsu and my students and whatnot, but like that's just what it is now. So
It's
the
really
Dream
cool.
Killer.
It's a
Yeah.
cool logo. Everything's really done well. That's why I was kind of confused. I didn't know that was your nickname. I thought it was just a brand that was sponsoring you. I didn't
Yeah,
realize
yeah.
it was even. It's pretty cool.
That's what I go for because I don't want people to go like Dream Killer. Oh, it's Kristian. It's like no. Like that's his nickname, but it's something different. I
Yeah.
like to be separate entities.
no,
'cause-
you're doing it right.
Because I didn't want to make a gi and put my logo on it because then it's like oh well like this is a Kristian Woodmansee. It's like no. So if I kept it separate like the way it is and I thought about like future terms and like business and whatnot, it was like well like Dream Killer that anybody can embody that. So it was just like keep it that way.
No, that's
Yeah.
good, man. No, it's smart. Yeah, it's clever.
Yeah.
It's probably not as
killer.
nice as a show-year-old, but you know,
That's good.
yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah.
I like that. Dream Killer. Dream Collector.
Dream Collector.
That's a good
Dream
one.
Fulfiller.
Yeah.
There's a couple of stuff in there. Yeah.
Guys who lose a lot, they're dream givers.
Dream givers.
Here's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
dream.
There you
Take
go.
it.
Take this.
Paul, you don't have a nickname, huh?
No, I don't.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
Do you
Alright,
feel like
come
you
on.
need? Do you feel like you should give yourself a nickname and then embody it? Or do you
No.
feel like you should be
I feel
given
like you
it?
got to be really fucking good to have a nickname.
Someone's got to give it to you. You can't just
Yeah.
You can't just think of one and be like, oh,
Is
this
it someone?
me.
But someone that you idolize gives it to you, or just anybody?
I don't know. I guess a teammate. I mean, any teammate I think would be able to do it.
Yeah.
Like someone you're there. I mean, we train so much that those are guys are like our family. So if any one of those guys was like, hey, and then it stuck, and like, that's
What if
cool.
you hate it though?
I don't know.
Yeah,
You hope not
Yeah,
to hate
They
it.
call me this, but I don't like it. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to make that known right away before it catches on.
Yeah.
Or you could be like Rory McDonald and change it like every year.
Yeah.
What is he now?
I don't know what he's. Is he the Red King still, or is he something different?
Oh, really?
He's I don't know what happened with that guy.
I like the memes where people make comparisons of him and American Psycho.
Oh,
Yes.
Christian Bale from
Yeah, it's the best.
awful.
And then
So
there's
good.
another one out there of like him and Marilyn Manson because he
really?
kind of has that like Marilyn Manson face to
Yeah.
him. He's a savage, man.
Dude's scary.
He had a fucking great match, I think, against JT on Metamoris.
Metamoris.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
He had a decent amount of size on JT, but like he's
did.
that kid's a stud. His thing was that he didn't like do something then do something else. Like he his first day of ever training, he went to an MMA academy. He goes to TriStar. So then he's like, you have to do everything. So he became incredibly gifted at everything he did.
Right.
It wasn't just like, oh, you do jiu-jitsu, now do Muay Thai, and then, oh, you do boxing, now do this. Like,
Right.
it's just like, I'll do everything all at once.
Yeah.
The kid's a monster. JT said he's really game. He's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too bad he couldn't figure everything out in the UFC. Like, he just
What are you talking about? He fought for the title twice.
just never.
Yeah.
I know.
Now he's in Bellator.
What did
What's he
he-
doing in Bellator? Is he?
Making more money. That's about
Yeah,
it.
probably.
Yeah.
But is he anything in Bellator? Is he a champ?
No, I don't think so. I think he just fought recently, too, like, in the past month or so, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, and there's talks of him moving up to 85.
Oh, he's 70. That's right. He is
Yeah.
70.
He's looked a lot different since he lost that fight to Lawler.
Yeah.
I feel like he just kind of like everything changed.
That was a
He
scary
took
fight.
Years, he took years off his life for
For
that fight.
sure.
Fuck yeah.
And he didn't make that much money for that fight. Not enough. And I think that's what impacted him too. It's like, man, like I'm giving my life for this sport, and this is how much you guys are paying me, and I'll just go to Bellator, I guess, and just have safer fights. But that fight was crazy.
That was an insane fight. And isn't he fighting this weekend? Right? 214.
Yeah, Lawler's fighting.
Lawler's fighting
Cowboy.
Yeah.
Cowboy, yeah.
That's gonna be.
Cowboy's the underdog too.
I would
That's
think
gonna
so
be an
because I think
awesome fight.
isn't Lawler bigger than Cowboy?
I'm not sure that I'm not good with the weight class of the other ones, but I
Yeah.
think he's one weight class up from Cowboy or something.
Yeah,
so.
because Lawler's always been 170, and Cowboy fights at 70 and
155,
55.
right.
But 55 is a huge cut for him,
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's big for 50.
especially like later in your career.
Yeah,
Just-
and as much beer as he drinks.
Yeah.
But we know Lawler can
Beer and
never make
candy.
55, so you know, just the thing naturally
Right,
is going to be better
exactly.
than Cowboy. So
What do you walk around at, Christian?
on a good day, like 22 or 23.
22?
Yeah.
So you don't even have to cut weight for Rooster.
No, I mean, once in a while something will be going on, and I'll just be like, I'll get sick or something, and
Yeah.
I'll just but no. And I usually, especially like when I was competing like consistently for like Pan Ams and Worlds, like I eat the same thing, the same quantity every single day.
Yeah.
So then just like I train, eat, so like my weight will never fluctuate will be it. But even when I eat whatever I want, which is sometimes I'll get a little crazy, but my weight still doesn't change.
Yeah.
I've never been above like 126, 127, unless I like water load, but
You were really undersized for that EBI then.
huge.
Yeah.
I begged him. I was like, dude, can you please do one? Well, because like I did like I think it was EBI 2. That was the first one that Gio won. It was like me, Gio, Fabio, what's his name? Pat. I don't know, the guy from Cabrini's. There's a couple other dudes, and I was just like, man, like these dudes were just all bigger than they were like cutting weight to
Yes.
make weight, and I'm sitting there
Gio's
like,
not little.
Gio's not
is
little.
fuck- and his,
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
hands. Everything's just it's got, like
Yeah.
a gorilla. He's just
Everybody
really-
had to cut weight on
big.
that
Everybody
card,
was cutting
except
weight
for
for
you.
that card, yeah. And then like we're in the back and we're talking about the rules, and the only question I brought up, I was like, if he picks you up, you have to stop. And he's like, yep, 100%. That's the fight I was fighting Red from Lotus Club, and I like put him in a triangle, and he picks me up and he says stop, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Like I felt confident that I was beating Red at that point. That the triangle was locked. I was arm barring him. He's like trying to like I felt like I was gonna break his arm. And then it was like we stopped, but then he's like, start back standing. I'm like, well, how does this make sense? Like, I have him in a submission, two
Right.
submissions with one, and then like now we just start neutral again. And I just like broke myself mentally, and then and usually like they changed the rule after that EBI. He goes, now you can, if you get picked up, you can keep going. But I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Thanks for the late change, but like I appreciate it.
Right.
He goes, we'll have you back again, no problem. And I was like, dude, please do 125. And he goes, we just can't get enough guys. There's not enough guys at 125. And
Not
I was
enough
like,
guys at
I was
125.
like, I can get enough guys for 125 if you want. He goes, not enough to make a pull for it. And I'm like,
see.
get some guys from UFC to do it. Get some like I was like, if you're gonna pay him, like
That's the problem. That's right there is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
If you're gonna pay him,
yeah.
How much weight is DJ cutting? Like, what does he walk around at?
he's got to be walking around 135,
He's got it
140,
at,
right?
at least, right?
He's thick.
This is the thing. You're talking about Demetrius, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Demetrius fought Wilson walks around at 160.
What?
Wilson walks around at 160. I trained with Wilson in Philly many years ago, but Wilson, when I moved, Wilson did a super fight against one of my students, and this was right before I think he wasn't fighting DJ, he was fighting someone else. It was a fight before he fought DJ. He fought my student, and he weighed in at 160. And like Wilson is short, but he's like a monster, like a pit bull, like huge traps. He still had abs. I'm like, this dude's scary. And like I'm like, this dude fights at 125 because he fought at 35 for a while professionally for 125. But then like he literally says he has to cut for months to make 25 and all this other stuff, and he just gets big and then gets small. But like even DJ was not meeting the requirements for like the percentage of the drops that they were like, if you're this amount percentage over at this point in time in your weight cut, like blah blah, it's unsafe. And like DJ still was like big, But like Wilson's huge compared to that dude. But I think DJ's probably about 35. Couldn't be more than 40 on a good day. So he's super tiny, skinny.
He's like Bruno Malfacini, right?
Yeah, Bruno's shorter than me. I've never stood next to DJ, so I don't know. But Bruno comes up to like the middle of my
shorter than
nose.
you?
Yeah, Bruno comes up to the middle of my nose. Like I've seen the top of his head.
Yeah.
And he's a monster. So and I know
And
he cuts weight
Kyle's a
too.
good bit bigger than
He's
you.
like 5'8".
Yeah, he's super
He's got
tall.
he's got like 6 inches on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's super tall. But his legs are like super skinny. He's got like a very like big chest, but he's just like his arms aren't super huge, but like
Right.
he's got a decent weight cut too.
Yeah, because he fights at Rooster, right?
Fights at Rooster, yeah.
127. He walks around
With
at
the gi.
140,
With the
right?
gi.
With the gi on.
Yeah,
And 122 without gi. Right?
122.5 without the gi, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he probably walks around like 45, 40. But he eats Skittles and pizza, and like that's his thing. Like he does his thing, but
Yeah.
I can't imagine what his weight cut's like.
Because he
but-
cut weight for your fight at Fight to Win, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure how much, but I knew he definitely cut the weight.
Yeah.
And he had to cut weight that day. He's like, I had to do a pound today. So I guess like he was just
What was that at?
35.
35.
Yeah.
Was that your request or his or?
The fight that he was previously signed up for was at 35. I'm not sure about the conversation or communication, but it was presented to me as that's the only option that there was.
Right.
So, because I would have taken the fight at 210 pounds against Kyle, but I wasn't sure if it was the promoter saying it was at 35 or Kyle said I'm not doing it less than 35, whatever it may be, but the dude's substantially bigger than me. It would have been appreciated if he would at least cut, so he kind of like mimicked it, but it wouldn't have changed the results for that fight at all.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But he's a big dude. He's tall. Like I literally was like, oh man, you're not short. And he goes, oh, this is the first time that I've competed with someone who's so small. Thanks for the compliment. Appreciate it. He's big.
Yeah,
He's really big.
dude. Fucking 15 pounds is a lot, man. You know, because you're not just. It's not just 15 pounds. It's 15 pounds of functional muscle.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
when
which you
you're
have to
talking
think
about
too. Like a lot
athletes.
of people. I get it a lot from lower belts that I teach too, but they're like, I'll say like, I'll go with such and such. And then I'll be like, well, I'm not going with them. There's a huge weight difference. It's 20 pounds. Like, yeah, well, I go with guys that are 20 pounds. Yeah, but like because of your size, the 20 pounds, the percentage different is different.
Or it's
20 pounds to you is not 20 pounds to me and vice versa.
Right.
That's what people don't understand. Like, oh, well, it's just 20 pounds. 20 pounds is 1/6 of my body weight.
Right.
Right.
So it's like, okay, how are we picking this up now? Okay. And then it's like 200-pound dude, 20 pounds to a 200-pound dude is like 1/10 of his body weight. So like people don't take that. They're just like, oh, 20 pounds is 20 pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a reason why Kyle doesn't fight, Bruno doesn't fight Absolute at Worlds.
Right.
And there's a reason that if you put one of those guys against Buchecha, that Buchecha would murder him. And it has nothing to do with technique.
Yeah.
Like, they're both people consider Kyle to be one of the most technical pound for pound fighters in the world, you know. Right. So it's not about technique. It's just sometimes just comes down to size. Like, and I've seen Kyle fought JT. JT killed him. And I mean, like, I've trained with JT. JT has had days where he killed me too, but like JT's not a small dude. He's not huge, but he's still like, I mean, he does lightweight, so he's 170, whatever it may be, but like he murdered him, like ragdolled him. So it's like jiu-jitsu and weight is a huge difference, especially when the smaller you get, I think the bigger the difference it makes.
Yeah.
But I can feel like with dudes that are like, once I start competing at like above 140, like I feel like I have got no chance. I don't care if it's a blue belt.
Yeah,
Just
no,
changes everything.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, because I'm.
Yeah, what
I'm
do you
always-
walk at?
I walk around 135 now.
Okay, yeah. You're pretty muscular though. Yeah.
If you
He's like,
muscular.
he's sitting there. He's like, yeah.
That's what's
Let
up.
me flex my muscles.
Pushing
No.
out those biceps.
I mean, for guys that are shorter,
Yeah.
like, especially in jiu-jitsu, you don't see a lot of like.
I got these little legs though. These legs are.
You don't see more stocky guys that, like they're like, oh, skinny arms, skinny legs. Like they're just small guys.
Yeah.
You don't see much. Like Kyle's kind of jacked when he cuts weight. You're like, oh, this dude's big. Bruno's
Bruno's
fighting professional MMA at 125. So
Oh, is he really? I didn't know that.
yeah, he's fighting
But he's like
very soon.
just a ball of muscle.
He's like Wilson Hayes. Someone just punched him in the head and like made him a little bit shorter, but like he's just like
yeah.
huge traps, delts. He's just a monster. He's ripped.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how you guys do it. Like I couldn't even cut weight. I'd be like, no, I'm not doing it. I don't know, not for jiu-jitsu. I mean, you got to weigh in and you got to fight right away. So I would never be able to do it. It's different than MMA.
So your fight to win match, where your most recent one, where you're like, I don't give a shit. You just went out there. Now, like, I wonder, do you consider yourself like disinterested, or do you think that was like more of a result from the last match with Kyle, where it's like, okay, that's the worst possible scenario. So like, you know what I mean? Like nothing worse could happen. That's why you weren't nervous, maybe?
It's just weird. I mean, I think every day, because I think about it, it's very important to me. But like, back in the day, it was like I need to fight and I need to win so I can create a comfortable living for my future family.
Right.
If I want to teach seminars, I have to be a world champion. If I want to teach seminars, I got to win Pan Ams. And it was just like, that was like my motivation. So then like I win those things and then I'm doing the things that I'm telling myself and it's like, well, why am I doing it now? And it's like, and then to a degree, it's like, well, like maybe it's a fluke. You got to do it again. And it's like, and I have people and it's not a big deal. And it's like, sometimes it hits my ego depending on my day I have. But like, if you want to tell me that me winning 4 major titles is a fluke, then it's a fluke. And like, I don't need to prove myself to you anyway. Like, that's just all on me. So like, then it's just like, well, what else do I need to do? Like, I'm already teaching. I'm teaching seminars all over the world. So what's the purpose for going out there? Like, it was just like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. So it was like,
Right.
I don't know. It just changed. Like, I'm at Fight to Win. I'm just kind of like, well, like, win or lose, I don't care. I know the dude's not bad. It was just my complete point of view is different. Because like I think technically like I could do very, very well against Kyle. And like I wanted to test myself to see how far off, if I was off from that. I didn't even have a chance. Didn't even do any jiu-jitsu. So like with my fight like 2 weeks ago in Philadelphia, I was just like, I'm just over it. Like, it's no big deal. So, like, just like, it felt like it was just like not even training, but it was just like slap hands and go.
Yeah.
Like, and the guy's smaller too, so I can instantly think like, oh, he's my size, or just break him in half. But like, I wasn't even like, oh, okay, I'll kill him. It was just like, it's not even worth my time. I almost felt like disappointed. It's just like, why are we even here today? Like, they should just pay me and I'll leave, you know. But like it was my mindset. It was just like, I don't want to compete. I just don't want to do it. So like I said, but like I still won. You know, but I wasn't hyped up. I wasn't like smacking my back and screaming. So I was just like, what did I win?
Yeah.
Right.
I got paid, but like, what does that mean? No one cares.
And what's with the belts for Fight to Win? I really don't understand that. Like, some people get a belt, some people don't.
I think you
Some
have to
people-
have multiple fights, and once you establish there's a division. Like there's like Kyle has fought multiple times in the gi at that weight class. Well, I think he fought Kern at 45 actually, so I'm not 100% sure.
he did, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think it was
Yeah.
at 45.
So what they're trying to do is they're trying to establish champions, so that then they have more ability to have divisions.
Which
They're
I
building
totally
up,
agree.
Which is
I just,
super cool.
they don't really explain it. Like,
No.
all of a sudden you're just like, oh, this guy gets a belt after that match, but there's no like,
What I think Fight to Win hasn't established what it's going to be yet. So it's
Okay.
just kind of like finding itself. It's like, is it cool? Is it not cool? What do we do? What do we not do? Change the rules. Like, Seth is super awesome. He's down to earth. And he's just like, I don't know if you've talked to him. He's just like,
I haven't, yeah.
All right, man, here we go. So this is what's going on. Like, if you suck, you're not coming back. Like, you know, like, boom. Like, he's just
Does he
like,
sound like that?
Yeah, he's like, well, he's got this weird pitched voice, but he's like super cool dude. But it's like, he's just like, hey, like, we're here to entertain. This is professional. Like, you guys are getting paid if you win. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, this is what everybody said they always wanted. Now I'm presenting it to you guys. So it's just like,
So don't go out there and stall.
just don't go out. Like, you can if you want.
Yeah.
You just won't come baback.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of dudes do that. And that's why I kind of like it too. And like, there's money in the line. But like, I'm tired of seeing the IBJJF super fights where it's just like, if we lose, that change is a lot more astronomical than if we win. So we'll both just not win or lose. And I have witnessed, I've been listening to conversations between black belts where they both, before the match, say, let's just make this go this way. And it's just like, what?
Huh?
Like, why are you here? You know, like, well, I don't want to beat you and I don't want to win. Let's just both understand that we're going to control the situation.
Right.
And it's like, dude, like, if that's what you want to do, cool. But like, at the same time, that's what's like lowering and degrading the sport.
So who wins that match? Like, how do they
Well,
figure that out?
okay, let's say I won't be specific. Let's say you have a Polaris fight. You know, both guys, nobody submits, and then okay, it's a draw. I get paid, you get paid. I didn't lose my following. I didn't gain anything, but like I got paid and I got marketing and advertising from it. So to a degree, I guess I leveled up.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay. But how does that make any sense in IBJJF?
I don't know. I mean, IBJJF becomes very, to me, my opinion, becomes very like political. You know, you'll see the guys who are more consistent, who's getting invited to things, who's getting more marketing and advertising and whatnot. You know, and it's like you go out there. I mean, like I've been told stories where it's like two dudes are about to fight in absolute, and it's like, hey, like, you know, I really need to like establish myself here, and I don't want to get submitted. You know, and it's like, okay.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So
I'll do
just
that
beat
for
me
you.
on points. Okay.
Well, see, the thing is this, like, this is why I hate jiu-jitsu and I hate the black belt and the hierarchy system, because, like, you see things and you see potential and you see, like, how people get treated. And you deep down inside, some people are like, well, that's what I want too. So I need to support that if I want to get it. You know, like that whole like years ago when I started teaching seminars, like brown belts don't teach seminars, only black belts. Because if you're a black belt and you support only black belts teaching seminars, you're therefore in that group and then you teach seminars. Once you let brown belts teach seminars, you then lose more seminars. So it's like it's just about that hierarchy system about like, you know, we're all part of this together. Let's make this super sacred. The black belt is stupid to me. I don't really care. It doesn't change anything, but I mean that's just my opinion. But that's the kind of stuff that happens. There's a reason why most of those fights at Worlds are getting closed out or they're boring and they're stalling, and then brown belts are killing each other.
Right.
Why? Well, it's like things change when you get to black belt. Now you're a professional. You're in the deep season, whatever else it may be, and like you're thinking like, oh, I want to relax, and like if I'm gonna lose, I don't want to get submitted, and like whatever it may be. I don't know. To each their own. I mean, there's dudes that are not like that out there, but there are a decent amount that are.
Yeah, everyone's thinking about opening up their own academy once they hit black belt.
Yeah, but there's no one out there. There's no black belt, brown. There's no one who's kind of perfect record. It just doesn't
Even
exist.
Buchecha loses.
Even
Right.
Buchecha loses, right? There's no one has a perfect
once you're
record.
in jiu-jitsu, you understand that. Like once you're
Right.
like you've been in the mix and in the
Right.
community for years. I mean, you understand like, hey, you don't need to be a world champion to be an amazing instructor, you know. But for the guys off the street that don't know anything about the sport and they've seen the UFC a couple of times and they're looking for a gym, yeah, like I think that matters to them.
Yeah,
like
oh,
what's
world
on your
champion, blah, blah,
website,
blah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Of course.
I mean, it's
you
a
got to
business.
think like there's that aspect. Like let's say you go to Worlds. Let's say you win. First question that usually everybody asks: well, how many fights did you have? Right there. There's this constant check, right? Where it's like, oh, I lost. Who'd you lose to? I lost to the guy who won. There's this
Right.
constant desire to show value in whatever we do, win or lose, right? But if you're like, I went out there and I got submitted, you're like, that's at the bottom of the list. Like, oh, okay, first fight you got submitted, you lost, right? But if you're like, I went out there and I lost to the dude, but he didn't tap me, it's like, okay, cool, yeah. You know,
Yeah.
there's just that weird thing, and it's like, loss to loss, win is win. I mean, I don't care, but like, I personally, my style and my preference is like if I'm gonna go out there, I'm either submitting you, you're submitting me. That's just the way that it is.
Right.
But like that comes with its pros and cons.
Yeah.
Like I've been strongly advised by past instructors of like, hey, we don't get submitted. Don't get submitted. And it's kind of like, okay. You know, so it's like, well, I mean, if I can control not getting submitted, I'd probably just be winning every fight, you know.
Right,
so,
yeah.
but like that's the thing because there becomes something like I don't know, psychologically that's like this is what we're selling here, you know. Like I mean, we don't get tapped, we don't do this, blah blah blah. Like we're just this is who we are, this is who you are, this is who I am. So it's like if you're not part of that, you're kind of like you get outcasted, you know. I mean, like how many dudes? They're look at AJ Agazarm. Loses and everybody's on his case about losing. You know, it's like that dude's fighting up more fight to wins than anybody else. I think he's had like 4 or 5 fight to wins. You know, he's fighting Ben Henderson. He's fighting
Gary
Tonin, Oliver. Like he's fighting game dudes.
Right.
Yeah.
Someone's got to lose, right? And then he loses, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, get this guy out of here.
Yeah.
He sucks. It's like, dude, there has to be someone who loses, you know. But that's the jiu-jitsu community because it's kind of like when you're a competitor, and I get it to a degree because if you're going to compete, winning is everything and losing is the opposite. So if you're going to lose, you're going to lose, you know. But like there's that gray area in there where people are like, well, I didn't get submitted, and then like this is what happened, or I won all my fights by submission, and I had this many. It's like, man, like there's always this way of crediting people negatively and
Yeah, that
positively.
check. I mean, Riley Bodycomb was on our podcast, and he was talking about one of his biggest pet peeves is when a student of his or he hears somebody say, I lost, but lost on points.
There you go.
You know?
Yeah.
And he goes, to him, he takes that as like, you should get submitted trying to win the match.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're
100%.
down, if you hold, I'm down by 2. Okay, let me just stall this out, and that way I could go back with a little bit of dignity and say I lost by 2, but I didn't get tapped.
Well, that's it.
It's
Yeah,
like
it's the ego.
You should be putting yourself in bad enough positions to get those 2 points back, score, and then get submitted in the meantime.
100%. Yeah.
You know?
I will literally if if I'm in a position and I'm losing and I think it's better to give my back to win that fight, I'll do so. But like, not everybody's like that.
Yeah.
That's what's sad because, I mean,
and because you're being judged too. Like, why did Kristian just give up his back there? He knows better than that.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, there's 20 seconds left and I'm down by 2. Like, I have to do something here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did you ever hear the story about what happened to me at Pan Am's? It was like 2 years ago.
No.
I won the previous year, so I think it's 2014. So I won the previous year, and I go, and nobody signed up for my weight class. So I'm like, okay, I've got nothing to prove. I won 2 years in a row at Rooster. I'll go up to light feather. So I go up to light feather, and there's a couple of dudes that are game dudes that I've seen compete multiple times, or I've fought. I've fought at light feather and feather before. It sucked, but like I'm just like, okay, I'll do it. So I go out there and I'm fighting, and the rules in IBJJF are like if me and you are in some kind of submission and we go out of bounds, the rule is you either get set back in the middle in the submission or you get stood up and the person who had the submission gets awarded 2 points. It's a very common thing. Like this is like right when the rules were changing. So like I'm in my opinion controlling and trashing this kid, but I'm not. I scored like 2 points. Like I'm like dominating a lot. I'm not getting any. Like I probably attacked like 4 to 5 different submissions. Didn't get any advantages for them. And I'm kind of like, okay, something's a little up here with the ref. Maybe he's nervous. Maybe he doesn't like me. I don't know what it is, but like I wasn't getting what I thought I deserved anyway.
Got something against neck tattoos?
Then I was neck tattooless, right? So like I just wasn't sure what was going on. But like when I was this was part of my fire stage, so I was very cocky and arrogant when I fought. Like I would get my points and stare at the ref until he looked at me and acknowledged that I got 2 points, and then I would continue to fight because I wanted to make sure I'm getting my 2 points. Right. So like some people are like, oh, well, just keep fighting. And it's like, well, I want to make sure I get my 2. I'm not allowed to talk to the dude, so I'm looking at him and looking at the scoreboard until I get 2, and then I'm gonna fight again.
Yeah,
I can control the guy that much to where I can wait. Yeah. So like I did that, and I'm like fixing my hair, and I'm looking at him, and he's like, "Okay, cool." Like
it gave you 2 with an attitude.
Appreciate you doing what you should be doing because I swept the dude, that type of stuff. Yeah. So we get to a point to where he's attacking a footlock and he's trying to roll me out of bounds because he wants the 2 points. I'm like, this footlock's not even close, and I'm literally like seal pulling him back in, right? And then eventually he just rolls out of bounds and we stop. I'm like, shit, okay, there we go. He got 2 points now. It's tied. So he stood us back up and he goes, come batch. So I'm standing there, I'm looking at the clock and I'm waiting for him to get to 2 points. Never gives the kid 2 points. And I'm like, not happening today. I'm like, dude, so now the kid that I'm fighting is Brazilian. He speaks Portuguese. You're never supposed to talk to the ref. And then he's like, I don't know what he's saying directly, but he's like, hey, where's my points in Portuguese or something like that, Right. And combate, like just like not, I'm not gonna, like he's not saying anything to the dude. So like I know the rules. I'm like, okay, well like this guy is a dick now. I know I'm beating this kid anyway. It is what it is. So rules state, and like I don't think I should have been whatever it may be, but like the rules are the rules. So I gave the kid my leg, he held it, and I sat down. And I looked at the ref, so the ref gave him 2 points, and then I stood back up, I shook his hand, we kept going. I lost that fight by ref decision because it was tied. So like when that happened, right? Like I got a lot of shit from people like, you're competing, it's win at all costs and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't win like that. It's just not the way that it is. Yeah. That's just where like it's like I feel like I'm good enough to beat. So I don't care if he's beating me by 10 points. I should be submitting him. I couldn't submit him that fight. So loss is a loss to me. But like I got just as much praise as I got like I got some choice words from people that were really close to me that were influential in my jiu-jitsu that were like, hey, like, this is a bad representation of us. You're kind of on probation, wow. Watch your stuff. It's like, okay, cool. Like but I accept that. I understand that, so like, but that goes back into the whole thing, right? It's like I went out there and I'm like, well, I'm not going to do what's best for you or what's best for this situation. Like I want to go out there and fight. I want it to be a fair fight. I want to know that I'm submitting the dude because I was better than him. I don't want to win because it was like a cheat. And I could have probably not cared and gone to the next round and then submitted that dude and maybe won Pams for 3 years in a row at a different weight class, and it would have been super cool, and I would have got more money from my sponsors at that event. But I was like, nah, like I'm just not going to do that. But I ended up getting more fans that were like, I appreciate your character. Yeah. And I was like, well, I don't care about what you guys think. My dad's proud of me. My mom's proud of me. And like, I want to be a good example to my future son. And I don't want to be a cheater. That's all it is. So,
or daughter,
right. Hopefully not, but, but yeah, so
Kristian.
I don't want a
Say it like
That's
it
gonna be
is.
bad.
Say it like it
They're-
is.
I mean, they're a lot of
Yeah.
work. I heard.
Yeah.
I heard they're 3 times more work than
What are you
boys.
talking about? Where do you get this?
I have friends that have kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Girls are 3 times more work.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a
I've
good
got
statistic.
3, 4, 5. I've got 5 nephews and 6 nephews, 7 nephews, and 3 nieces. And the girls are super chill. The
Are they?
guys are like fucking animals.
Yeah.
They'll rip everything off the wall. They just destroy everything. It's crazy. It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
But it's I think girls would be super easier.
Maybe they're easier, but I think I just couldn't deal with it.
You
I
know-
couldn't deal with the dude breaking her heart. I couldn't deal. I just couldn't do
Yeah,
that
that's a
stuff.
tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could do with a kid getting his heart broken and be like, hey, I've been there. Here's some
Yeah.
examples.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I'd rather put that burden on my wife. Like
Yeah.
you be upset for the boy for getting his heart broken. I've been there. I don't want to be the other way around. She'd be like, oh, honey, it's okay that you got your heart broken. I'd be like, Daddy's upset. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'll go kill him. No,
I know.
way.
Yeah, but isn't the percentage of like fighters like don't they have mostly women, mostly girls?
I think you can genetically alter a baby at some point
This
in
is
stage. So
this is very true.
Yeah.
Actually, I think one of my friends actually did that.
You can
Oh,
at some
you could,
point in
like,
time
pick
change the
the
eye
gender?
color, the hair
Pick the
color, the
gender,
gender
yeah.
at some
Holy
point in stage.
shit.
He was talking to me about it a while ago, and I'm like, really? That's the thing? He goes, yeah, man, it's a thing. You just pay for it. I'm like, fuck, that's crazy. I mean, that is.
You would totally do that. You would totally customize your baby, dude.
You know I would, dude. Yeah.
Listen, this is what I want.
Christian,
what
you've
I'm
seen
looking
his
for.
Jeep.
Yeah, exactly. This is
Yeah,
what I
that's what I'm
want.
looking for. Okay.
Yeah. Daddy made you. No, literally, Daddy
Yeah.
made you.
I designed.
Created
Not
you.
only, not only created, but designed
Designed
you.
you.
You are.
You're welcome.
Yes. Yeah, but I mean, that's what a time we live in, man. You know, I was talking to someone. We were talking the other day, and I was just thinking, like, out loud. I was like, man, it's so interesting. Like, so I'm 42, right? So I grew up where we didn't have cell phones, and we would call each other on the house phone, right?
Yeah.
And no one knew where anyone was. There was like, if you're not home, all right,
That's
just
it,
start
done.
walking
Yeah.
around the neighborhood to ride your bicycle or skateboard. And you just got to try to find your friends,
Yeah.
you know? And we'd all like kind of collectively meet up at this one parking lot or whatever. I'm like, that was a cool time. You know,
Yeah.
I was like, you didn't really know, but you kind of all got together anyway. You know, there was no like, oh, if we wanted to drive there was no like GPS. You're going to map it out. You know,
Yeah.
like literally get a map and be like, okay, I think we're pointing the right direction. So going from there, that time period to like where it's like cell phone and then the internet and then, you know, the next thing is like now we're having these cars drive themselves. Like,
Internet on the
it's
cell
crazy.
phone.
but
Yeah.
think about if we can live to where cars are driving themselves now, right? For me, that would be the ultimate. Like I would have conversations with like my grandkids about like they'll be like thinking how crazy it was. Like you guys drove your own cars. Like
Yeah,
what the
what?
fuck were you thinking? Like
Yeah.
that's crazy.
That's dangerous.
All
Why
those
would you do
deaths are just you guys were killing each other with these cars. Why would you do that? Like it's so ridiculous. It would be so ridiculous for them to be like.
They couldn't even fathom it.
They
Yeah.
couldn't fathom. They would
Yeah.
be like, what? And to be able to live through the time, like my grandfather who lived through the Great Depression, and he sees all this change, but he's never really kept up. Like he doesn't really know what the internet is. You know,
Yeah.
he just
Yeah.
knows.
He doesn't care. He's like,
He's
yeah, whatever,
like,
yeah.
I don't know what the fuck
I
it
don't
is.
know.
You know, whatever.
I'm ready to die.
So, but for me, you know, I just like knowing that I think where I came from and like seeing this change and how fast it's happening. It's like, man, it's gonna be so interesting to be like
That's
in
huge.
it when it comes out like that.
Someone just recently told me there's a community in Florida, and it's like an e-community. So literally, like the entire community is like all modernized technology. So like how the houses are powered, like the cars, like you can get an Uber, but the Uber shows up and there's nobody in the Uber.
Nice.
So it's a self-driven Google, Tesla, whatever
Right,
car
right.
it is, but that's Uber, right? So it's like, so now you're waking up, you're Ubering and you're going somewhere and there's zero human contact with anybody whatsoever. But like that's crazy. And now like and then what's his name? Who's the guy who
Elon
owns?
Musk?
Yeah, they're doing that new train.
Yeah.
that's going from DC to New York in 20 minutes. They're doing one from San Francisco. Like so now imagine like. Oh, you know, I woke up this morning in DC, took an Uber to the train, didn't have to talk to anybody, got onto the train, went to New York in 20, like, it's just like technology is crazy. And like, I'm with you, like, I didn't have a cell phone until I was a sophomore or junior in high school. And it was like green. I had to press 3-4 times for a certain letter, like that type of stuff.
Oh,
There was no
God.
picture messaging. There was no internet. There was none of that stuff.
Right.
And like now, like literally, like I see kids that can't even speak yet on iPads
Right.
that are opening the iPad, scrolling, going to YouTube, I'm like, what's going on here? It's crazy to me. That's just crazy.
My nephew goes to picture frames in my mother's house. Goes to the picture frame and starts swiping the picture frame.
To try and get him to change.
Trying to get him to change.
See, that's
regular picture frame.
Get
He's
the fuck
like,
outta here.
Swear to God, he'll start swiping. and
Your iPad's broken, Mom.
It won't do anything, and he'll just go to another picture and try to do the same thing. He just like, no, it doesn't work that way, kid. But that's their mentality. They're like, just like.
They see a piece of glass and they want to swipe it.
They want to swipe the glass.
Where's the screen?
It's fucking crazy.
Holy shit.
But I'm tired, man. I was telling Paul the other day, I'm so done with like social media. I don't know. It's so bad. I like think about like, so we have the podcast and I maintain the Grappler Union podcast, and that's more like, I look at it more like business. I don't really look at it as like, it's for me. I look at like we're providing a community, and it's more of a business.
Yeah, you have to know what's going on out there.
Right. But like my personal, I've got like 180 followers on my personal. I'm like, I was telling Paul, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Why the fuck am I posting
Why are these
shit?
people following me?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't need this. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I told him, I'm just going to.
Picture of a gi laying on a mat.
Right.
Hey, tough
got my
training
new pair of
today.
Moscovas
Exactly.
today.
Hashtag tough training.
Tough training.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, come on,
who gives
man.
a shit?
I
We
don't
all
care.
train today.
Yeah, we all train. I stopped doing, like I used to check in. I'm like, oh, I'm checking in. And I'm just like, you know what? I'd rather just train and not have to think about my Instagram feed or a Facebook feed. I just want to fucking train, man. And if I see you in the gym, fucking awesome. We'll talk, But I just, whatever. I'm just
Technology's
tired,
awful.
man.
Yeah.
Tired. I feel like I'm being like controlled.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I'm sure a lot of the listeners were thinking, what's up with Anthony? I haven't seen a post in a while.
Yeah,
I'm so glad he finally said something. We were so worried.
Yeah,
he wasn't responding to our messages either.
Yeah,
awful.
yeah. So I'm killing that. I mean, how many followers do you have? Because you probably have a lot.
Instagram, I've got like 20,000.
Yeah,
Damn,
see,
dude.
that's different. But you have a brand.
Well, it's
You know?
it's actually funny because like I went from using Instagram because I thought it was cool, and then I had like an ego about it, and I was like, I want people to like my photos, right? And then it just became, it was all about business. It was marketing, and advertising.
Exactly.
It became a tool to where I can successfully acquire sponsors and be able to show them my value, and so like this guy over here may have won 12 world titles, but he's got 200 followers, right? So like in terms of like return on investment, this guy sucks,
Exactly,
right?
right.
But like maybe I haven't done that much, but like I guarantee like if you gave me a product and me to post about it, I guarantee the world's going to see it.
Right.
So it's like, well, not the world anyway, but I mean like there's other guys that have crazy amount of followers too, but like it's just all for business. So like I stopped following everybody. I don't follow anybody, because it's just like I'm supposed to be a leader. I'm not here to follow anybody. 2, I'm not looking at your stuff. This is just for business. So I'm just posting for those reasons, and that's it. So, but like it's tough because you'll get sucked in real quick to that stuff in the sense of like, I used to be like, I got to make a post every day at this time and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, after a while, you're like, man, this gets old. What are we even doing it for? And just like get away from it now.
Yeah.
Just like post when you need to, like meet your requirements with your sponsors, post about things that are going on with you that you want to market. But like other than that, like I'm not putting personal stuff on there.
Exactly.
I'm not, I mean, like I talk about like my character, but like I'm not like saying like I had a steak today or like, like my girlfriend fell down that, like nothing, stuff like that,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? So it's not, I'm not into social media in the sense of like, it's not my therapist, and I'm not trying to let
put.
people all that other stuff.
That's
so,
well put. Yes,
yeah.
you're not.
It's
exactly.
fucking
I think
distracting
people-
too.
It is very distracting.
I mean, even if you're not making posts and doing that, like, because that's work, making the post and cutting the image, and then what clever caption should I put here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if you're just not making posts and following people, it's like you go down that fucking weird rabbit hole. Like, where it's like I'll pull my cell phone out of my pocket because I'm like, oh, I need to send an email to this person about, whatever, like it's important. And then you pull your phone out and then you see that little red dot on the Facebook and
The
you're
notification,
like, what?
yeah.
Notification. And then you click on that and then someone fucking tagged you in an article. Now you got to read the article. Next thing I'm like, I'm scrolling down Facebook 20 minutes later, like, wait, what the fuck did I pull out my phone for?
Exactly.
Again?
13 days later, you've got a beard, you don't know where you are. Yeah, 100%.
I know, it's crazy,
Right?
Yeah, man. I'm done, man. I can't.
You're
do
done
it.
with it.
I'm done, man. I got.
What
more
about
important
like
things to
guys
do.
like Hanato though? I mean, where it's like their job. Like, how is he making revenue off that?
Oh, for sure. I mean, he's got huge sponsors. I mean, he's got hundreds of thousands of followers. Hanato, it's got to be hundreds of thousands.
Yeah,
I mean, some of the jiu-jitsu people have hundreds of thousands of followers.
Yeah, I mean, I think Galvao has like 236,000, something, but he's verified. Like, so does Keenan. Like, they,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Verified. What is that? That means you have what, more than 100?
No, so like it doesn't have to deal. It doesn't have to deal specifically with the number of followers you have. It's to deal with like the amount like media reach that you have and like engagement. So like I guess like some kind of flag goes off and they go like, oh, this person is involved with a lot of different posts. Like we want to make sure these people know he's real, verified, boom, boom, done. It's the same thing that, like they do for like Twitter and Facebook and whatnot. But,
Yeah.
I mean, because there's dudes that are Twitter verified, Facebook and Instagram verified from like UFC that only have like 2,000 followers.
Okay.
You know, but like they get a post and like all of a sudden like Dana White tags him in it and he's in the video, the fight video, and there's like 600,000 views. So it's like, okay, that guy's real. Blah, blah, blah,
Right.
type stuff.
yeah.
It's huge.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's important for that aspect, but you know, for me personally, no one needs to see a picture of my food or my gi.
Yeah.
Unless it's your profession. Like unless it's like you like maybe you're a foodie and you go around and you
Sure.
then that's cool, but like
Right.
it should be it's social media, but I'm with you. I think it should be for a purpose. It's like
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like I don't know what you're doing. There's just way too many people out there that are not using it. They're just
Yeah, I
disturbing.
absolutely refuse to like anyone's food post. I'm sorry. I mean, I know like that sounds like I'm a dick.
regardless of what it looks like. You're not.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not.
If I
I'm
catch
not
you liking
encouraging
any
it.
food post, I'm gonna be super mad.
I will never, ever, ever like any of your food posts. I might look at it and go, Jesus
wow.
Christ, good for you. That looks delicious. I can't believe you made that yourself. Like,
like.
I'll give you credit, but I'm not hitting like because I just don't want to encourage people posting food anymore. It's like I don't care what you're gonna shit out 12 hours from now.
And the real crazy thing is we as individuals to a degree, not entirely, but we control what we're seeing anyway. You know. And then I'm seeing some Joe Schmo guy, and he's talking about how like the IBJJF is one sided and it's political. And I'm just like, if I don't need to hear it anymore, I just click unfriend or unfollow,
Right,
and then it's
yeah.
gone. You know. But then Facebook will run stuff down your throat with like some kind of sponsored ad or something's going on or so and so is tagged or we recommend this. It's like,
Right.
man,
Yeah.
you guys are reaching hard. Just leave me alone.
I know.
I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, they're recommending shit now.
I know.
We know you would like this. How do you know that?
Yes.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, Netflix does the same shit.
Yeah.
They're on that algorithm too. Like,
Yeah.
they got rid of all the like stars. Like, you know, you can just like do 3-4 stars. Now it's just like percentage. Like 93%, you will enjoy this. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the
Huh?
fuck?
I know.
So I
Come up
can't
with
rate that.
percentage?
I
Yeah.
can't rate this shitty fucking documentary. But you're gonna tell me like this other.
I should be able to rate it. You know what?
It's fucking
I
weird.
heard what stopped that was Amy Schumer's last special.
I heard
Yeah,
that
yeah,
too.
because people I think were rating it
People
differently
were like
than what it was.
shitting
Yeah.
on it, and she I think called up Netflix and was like, "What the fuck?" You know. So I think they pulled that
but
whole system away.
That's ridiculous. I mean, I like the ratings. It's important, but you know, every time I look at it, if I want to go eat at the place, I like Yelp it, you know. But then I think, who the fuck uses Yelp? Like, do I want to be associated with those?
Yelpers use Yelp.
Do I want to be? Do they have the same taste as me? Like, are we on the same level?
Right.
Like, how do I know who these people are?
I mean-
are these people just bitching, moaning, complaining type of people?
Maybe they had a bad day when they went
Right,
into that
right.
place.
I would.
If they're all jujitsu people, I probably would trust them a little bit more.
Well, here's the
like,
thing.
yeah, you probably have some. You probably know what's going on.
I would definitely read a Yelp review if I was like, if I moved to a new city and I was like, I'm looking for a new gym to train at.
Okay.
I would definitely, because that's a commitment. That's not like, oh, I ate at this restaurant and I ate a shitty meal.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, move on with your fucking life.
Exactly.
Who cares? You
yeah.
know?
Why the
But,
fuck
like,
you spend time to go home and write about
going
it?
into a gym and like this is possibly like a place I could be training at for years from now. You
Right.
know?
Right.
Yeah. I'd read reviews on that.
Are you going to segue into the thing with Andre?
With what?
His Yelp, he got like the highest ranking.
Oh, that's right.
Yelp
When
review.
Yeah. I don't know what
He put. I mean, they Yelp. I guess I didn't even know you can.
Yelp sent him a certificate because he got
saying
like the highest
rating
rating.
in Chicago. His
Oh,
gym.
and you put the sticker on your front.
Yeah, you got. They
front
sent him like
window,
a
yeah.
whole thing, and he was super proud, which is awesome. I
Yeah.
didn't even know. Like, I'd never Yelped a gym before. I didn't. I thought it was mostly for restaurants.
I've never Yelped ever.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't even know. Yeah, I've never like.
I mean, I appreciate people that do. Like they give you, they
Yeah,
give
but
you a
even
heads
Yelp,
up.
like I work with a lot of restaurants, and even Yelp will then call the restaurant, and be like, "Hey, listen, all right, this is the deal. You pay us, we're gonna push those bad comments all the way down to the bottom."
Is that what's up?
Hell yeah,
Damn,
dude.
dude.
They're like the mob. Like, hey, listen, okay, we know you got some bad reviews, but we're gonna fix this for you, okay?
Yeah.
We're gonna tell you how much it's gonna cost per
Yeah.
month to fix it.
Right, right.
And then they fix it.
Yeah, because there are people out there that will only do something based off of the views. Like if you went on like Amazon or like one of those websites and it's like, all, like you're looking like, I need to see the reviews if I'm going to buy this product.
Right.
and who knows me, but I've been a part of academies where the guy's like, hey, I want everybody here to make an account and go on Yelp and leave a positive review. You know, but like if there's 20 staff members, you're like, oh man, there's all 20 reviews are positive. I'm going to go into this place, you know, and he gave me $20 to post about it. Like, yeah, sure, no problem, you know, but like that's crazy to me. Like, I can't believe that's a thing. But like Yelper, there's a generation of Yelpers.
There is.
Yeah.
Fucking Yelpers.
Fucking Yelpers.
God. It's going to be a weird
People have a
day.
lot of time, man.
That's what it is.
They
They
do.
have a lot of time.
Too much time.
Yeah, they should be training, doing something.
I know jiu-jitsu people who are like, oh, where you guys want to go eat? There's always that kid that like turns and he goes on Yelp and he's like looking up places and he's looking at the reviews. And he's just kind of looking around. I wouldn't go there. It's like, what? It's not good.
Not
like,
good.
how do you know?
Not good.
I read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything you read is true.
3.8 stars.
3.8.
Yeah, I
No,
can't
no
do it.
way.
It's got to be over 4.
Yeah.
You get there, the food's shit. You're like, how do they get 4 stars? And
What? We just had Portillo's. What's Portillo's
I
ranked
don't
on
know.
Yelp?
I don't know.
Is
But
it-
Portillo's is
it's
great.
fucking
that
amazing.
has a lot of people though, so I'm sure there's a decent amount of Yelpers going in there saying it's good.
5 stars.
But like, no matter what product you have, I mean, you guys know there's always going to be somebody that hates
Always.
it. So it's like,
Yeah.
and if I'm going to read reviews, I'm only going to look at the bad ones.
Yes.
I'm not going to look at the
I
positive
agree.
ones.
But then there's like verified, like Amazon has verified purchases and then non-verified purchases. Like, and they'll review it. So like, oh, this guy didn't purchase it, but he actually wrote a review about it. How the fuck is that?
how does
like,
that
how
even
could
make
you?
sense? My friend got it. I'm just talking for them.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Right.
Like, oh, they have to actually put verified purchase as opposed to a non-verified.
Right.
Then how is that even? How can he review it? It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
It's really weird. But you know,
We
who's-
should get back to jiu-jitsu talk.
let's
get
get back
out of
to
it.
This all came from the kid that having the dollar thing.
All right. So
Did it really? Is that where it came
That's all
from?
it all
God
started.
damn it. We went on a fucking
I said my
jab.
son. He goes daughter, and I was like, no. And then we went into that went into the technology. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
the
It was awesome.
swiping the screen thing. Yeah.
okay, so here Portillo's got 3.5.
What?
See, that's crazy.
Fuck
The
Yelp.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Yelp's bullshit.
Yeah.
But you know what's really good? That Chick-fil-A salad. How about it? That market salad.
Pretty good. Pretty
It's
good.
not bad.
I've been throw
I've
the
been
nuts
living-
and the seeds and the fruit in there. I dig it.
I've been
Yeah.
living off that market salad every day now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Pretty much my lunch is that market
Right.
salad. Yeah, without blue cheese. I'm not a fan of blue cheese. But man, it's really good. It's shocking. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know about it until I was like, oh, market salad, I'll try it. Delicious.
5 stars.
5 stars. Chick-fil-A. Thank you.
Chick-fil-A.
Sponsor the podcast.
If you're listening,
If
please.
you're listening.
They got into some media trouble a couple of years ago.
Yeah, because
They're
were
like super hardcore Christian
Yeah.
like owners and stuff, and they
Yeah.
were like, what were they doing? Talking about the gay
Of
community
course.
and like,
yeah. What do the hardcore Christians talk about?
Same sex marriage. All those
Same
stuff.
sex thing. Nothing
Yeah.
else better to do.
Jesus Christ! If you own a public company, shut your mouth. How about that,
Just make
Chick-fil-A?
just enjoy your billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Stop
Exactly.
talking.
Right.
Yeah,
Stop
because
talking
In and
about
Out
s'mores.
never gets shit, do they? Does In and Out Burger ever get any shit?
You know why? Because they're not on social media.
Right.
They don't
Because
care.
they're ultra Christian.
Oh, they are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they are. They have I think they have proverbs like on
In
their
and Out,
cups and
that's
stuff
right.
like that.
Yeah, they do. They have John 3:16 on the inside, the bottom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See,
But they
On the
just,
inside
they
of
just
what?
don't care.
they do.
If you like do like the bottom of the cup and like on that lip on the bottom, if
Uh-huh.
you like this, it says John 3:16.
Really?
yeah,
Oh wow.
but see, you didn't know that.
No.
It's just a great burger.
Oh, it's a great burger. Utah, right?
Yeah, we're gonna go to Vegas and we're gonna have it. That's like acai and In-N-Out Burger. That's what we're gonna be living
That's your
off of.
that's your diet.
That's gonna be our diet.
How long were you out in San Diego for?
3 years.
And then you moved back to the Midwest. You moved to Michigan.
Well, so like I was living,
What the
I was
hell?
leaving, I was training full time in Philly. Well, I went. My dad forced me to go to college, so I went to college in New York. Went to St. John's in Queens. I was training with Josh Griffiths in New York City. Was training too much, not doing enough school. My dad said, "Okay, this is an expensive lesson. Let's not do this again." Transferred home, went to UArts in Philly. Was teaching and training full time. He's like, "Okay, I get that we didn't learn our lesson, so like, what are we doing here?" And I was like, "Well, like, I think school's stupid. I want to do jiu-jitsu." And he goes, "It's going to be tough. If you want to do it, go ahead and do it. If I laugh at you and I tell you I told you so, we're going to have this talk again later." And I said, "Cool, no problem." So then I was training with like Jared Weiner and Brad Daddis, the Lloyd Irvin crew, everything else like that, doing that thing. Like
That was over at Lloyd Irvin's.
well, yeah. So like you had a couple of guys that were like not living in Maryland that were part of the team. and then like you were representing the team, like you would go do your trainings and everything else like that. So,
What
like,
was it about that place that it was such a powerhouse back in its heyday?
it's just the training.
Lloyd
That's all it
Irvin.
is.
Yeah, but like, what was it
Yeah.
about him specifically? Where I mean, there was just so many killers out there.
It's just what he did was he focused on not having 1,000 people, not trying to have an academy with 1,000 members, not trying to make $1,000 off of whatever it may be, and just like, okay, like let's make a very efficient competition team, and this is how we're going to train. And literally, you would have visitors going in, and they'll be like, oh, okay, I want to join the team or I want to train, and it's like, okay, if you want to, this is how we do it. If you don't meet the cut, you're gonna leave. That type
Okay.
of stuff. You know, it's not cutthroat, but it's very like.
So everything was almost handpicked then. All the
To a degree, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, like, you know, that's why you get certain guys going in, and it's really, really hard training. Like, you hit your partner in the face, you can't apologize, you're not saying sorry. Like, it's very specific. Like, this is how you train. It's very hard, intense, mental, physical training. And I mean, Lloyd is really big on the rep system. So that's when like DJ was doing the Kimura trap rep system. He's like doing 10,000 reps, and they were just talking about doing the same. Like 1 week, you're doing one move 10,000 times, and they were building up their reps, and that's how they started to modify their games and everything else like that. But that was like their thing.
That's
you know?
huge, though.
It's huge.
I mean, Paul and I were just talking about the other day. We said, right? We were just talking about the repping. I was like, dude, if I could just rep the basics I would just do this like just all the time. Like I don't need to do like, know 100 moves. I need to know 10 moves very, very,
Very
well.
well. Yeah.
That's it. That's all I want, because I can't think of all these. I mean, I have a certain path I have in my head, and I work that path, but it only consists of like, 10 moves, if not even 10 yet. But I think that's super important. I think doing like the fancy jujitsu, I'll put that in quotes, looks cool, and it's great and all, but it's not worth. I don't see it's worth putting the time in.
No, it's just, anything you're going to do, you need to be able to like really get behind mentally and physically.
Right.
And then like, if it's not, when I speak it to my students, I say like, okay, like we're in this position, and I'll like be like, Johnny, what's your first instinct when you're here? What are you looking for? And
Right.
Johnny would be like, underhook. And I'm like, okay, what about you, Tiffany? And then she's like, oh, I'm looking for same side lapel, right? So like when everybody's got different instincts, and you want to change their first instinctual move, you have to drill and rep to change your muscle memory.
Right.
So like that's all drilling is. So like if you want a bolo, if you want a collar drop, whatever it may be, it's just like if you're not seeing it right away, you got to build it up, and then all of a sudden like, well, I've done it 10,000 times, and now I understand. I'm addicted and understanding how my body has to be, how I do it, and then that's it. Now you've got dudes that are like, I do. Look at Clark. He plays collar sleeve omoplata, does
Clark
Kimuras
Racing.
from top, and it's like that's his game. He's got other tricks that he has in there,
Sure.
but like his instincts put him always in those positions. Gio's trucking people.
Exactly.
Eddie Cummings is going butterfly hand. Like it's like those are their games. As you get later on your belts, you find your game, and then because your reps are building up over that entire time frame, and then that's how it happens.
Right. And they're going to do it to you, and you can't stop it.
Can't stop
Oh, yeah.
it.
You look at Eddie Cummings, Joao, Meow, Paul, and you're like, I know what they're going to do. But I can't stop it because they put so much time in repping it
Yep.
that you'd have to put the equal amount of time in repping how to not even get put in there or to stop it.
Right.
That's just astronomical. It's like having an army of 5 against 5,000. It's like, how are you gonna win that fight?
Yeah.
Even Hodger versus Bushesha. I mean,
Yeah.
like
Close guard.
just yeah,
Close
take
guard,
it.
sleeve control. It's like
Sleeve control.
It's not
Passing
like
the sleeve,
Buchecha is like
taking the back.
like, oh, I'm surprised. Like it was very basic understanding. Like this is what we're gonna do.
Right.
I just can't stop it.
No.
Super. I've been in those positions where I've trained with dudes that are like world class, like like this is their position, and it literally feels like someone's like just holding you by the strings, and you're like sitting there like I can't do anything.
Right.
And the guy's just effortlessly putting you in the position. You're like, man, I knew it was coming. I still couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They've been there so much, and like when you get to a black belt, you spend X amount of years in the mat. So like you've just done that. You've built up a very well rounded game per se.
Yeah.
So you've got a decent amount of reps in a lot of different places. That's all it is. But I mean, like if you put a lot of those guys in other positions that are like really good at like bear and bull or something else, they're like, I've never been here before,
Right.
because I only rep this, I only drill this.
Right.
Yeah.
So once you get put out of their element, they're done.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely nice to know about it, feel it, train it a little bit, but definitely like have the 10 moves where you've got thousands of reps on. I mean, like I went into Monaco's, like this was like a month ago, and he pulled a couple of us off to the side, a couple of lighter guys, and it was bear and bowls for an hour. Go.
Right.
you know. And then he was there watching us the whole time, yelling, "Paul, you got to be faster. You're a lightweight. Go faster. Go faster. It's sloppy, but you'll get it. Keep going."
Yeah.
You know.
I still can't berimbolo. I can't do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm little. I figured I'd
Yeah.
be able to. No.
It's either like it's just the move, it's your thing, or it's not your thing.
Yeah.
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 You're
Truck,
a
no
you're
problem.
a bowler, you're not a bowler.
Yeah. Truck. I don't have a problem with truck.
You're a trucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand.
So getting back to so you were out there in Philly.
So I was in Philly, and then I was dating this chick at the time, and I was just kind of like, all right, I want to do jiu-jitsu, but like I felt like I wasn't in the right environment, because I was very like, I wasn't good at jiu-jitsu. I was good, like I was winning, like I won like a bunch of advanced pro divisions at Grappler's Quest, and I was tapping black belts. I never did IBJJF yet, didn't do anything like that, right? And then I went to New York Open, and I got like physically taken advantage of. Like someone bent me over and was like, "This is what's going to happen today." And I was like, man, like there's something that I'm not doing right. And like I always take full responsibility. So it's like I don't blame my instructor, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, like I instantly told myself, if I want to be the best, I need to train with the best. So I literally, like within like 2 weeks making a decision, we packed our stuff up. I like had my motorcycle at the time shipped, moved to Miami. I trained with Cyborg for 10 months. Yeah. And Cyborg's a big dude, and he has a lot of big dudes that train with him. They're all very intense, and I was even smaller then. I was like maybe 112, 15 pounds. And like American, white dude, gringo, Miami, you know, fast lifestyle, like not a lot of sleep. Like I didn't party or anything else like that, but like still like the lifestyle was crazy. So, and it was just like I couldn't handle it physically. Like those dudes were like, "We're going to train very hard." And I'm just like, okay. And like they just ragdolled me. And then I was like, you know, like I'm not sure if this is the place for me. I'm not sure. Like I wasn't happy. I wasn't like really vibing with the place. So Cyborg was like, wherever, super, so really close to him. He's like, wherever you want to go, be there. And so I went to Drysdale's. Yeah. And that's where I found myself. And I was in the environment where I needed to be. I had really good training partners. I trained with Sophie, trained with Renee Lopez, a bunch of other people. And I felt really, really good there. And that's when my jiu-jitsu skyrocketed. But then we had a falling out.
Drysdale's in Vegas, right?
Yep, Las Vegas. Yeah, he moved there like 2000. I want to say like 2007 or 8. I think he moved after he won Worlds, like not too long afterwards. But yeah.
So you went to him at what belt rank were you at the time?
Purple.
You were purple.
I was a 4-stripe purple belt.
So I
was a Lloyd Irvin purple belt.
Lloyd Irvin purple.
And then obviously from that point in time, then Cyborgs, I got 4 stripes. I cut them all off anyway. They didn't matter to me because I felt like I sucked anyway. And then I went. I literally, it was a funny story. I was driving from Miami to Las Vegas, and I called Las Vegas, the Drysdale's Academy. I was like, "Hey, I need to talk to Rob." And they're like, "Who is this?" And I'm like, "Oh, my name's Chris. I need to talk to Rob." And they're like, "What for?" And I was like, "I need to talk about like opportunity for instruction." And they were like, "You want to teach here?" And I was like, "Yes, but I want to speak to Rob." And they're like, "Oh, well, he's out of the country. He's in Brazil." I was like, give me his phone number. Can't give you his phone number. Give me his email. Emailed him. And then, like, he literally texted me back, and he goes, "Hey, I'm in Brazil. Like, I don't know who you are. I don't know why you're messaging me, but, like, I'll be back this day." And I'm like, "Okay, like, I'll meet you at this time at the academy." And, like, he walked in, and, like, I was like, "Hey, here's what I need to do. I need to teach. I need to make money, and I need to get really good at jiu-jitsu, and I'll be a world champion." And he just laughed at me. And, like, the one thing that I had is, I've always had the ability to teach people. So like even then I was teaching as a blue belt anyway, but like he was like, "Yeah, okay, so this is how it works. This is what tuition is." Like I never paid tuition in my life anyway. And he's like, "Go sign up, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "You can have 1 week free if this is your place, if you want to be blah, blah, blah." And I showed up to every single class, every single day waiting for an opportunity. And one of the instructors wasn't there. And Rob couldn't teach because there's another class going at the same time. Yeah. And I was like, "You need someone to teach?" And he's just like,
"You son of a bitch."
He's like, "If you want to jump in and do it." And like everybody praised me. They let him know. And he was like, "Okay, you get the job." And I was like, "Cool. This is how much I get paid." And he was like, "You need to relax." You know, like, because I was super like, "Hey, like this is what I need. If you give me this, I will do this. I promise you." And he's just like, and we're the polar opposite people. He's like 12 foot tall. He's a mongoloid of a man. He's like 250 pounds. Like, he's just brute, like alpha male, right? And then like you've got this 4-foot girl, right? Like purple belt. I'm not good at jiu-jitsu. Like I'm like, I kind of get some things, whatever. And he just like, he's like, you earn the ability to teach, and that's all I'm giving you. And if you want anything else, you need to take it. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I kept training, and I kept training, and I kept teaching, and I was just like doing my thing, and I wouldn't leave the gym. And then literally like I was like, okay, and I won Las Vegas Open. and he promoted me to brown on the podium, and I was like, I'm taking over the world. Do you want to go with me? And he was just like, he like looked at me and he was like, there's something wrong with you? And I was like, cool. And then I like took second at Worlds, won Pan Ams, went back the following year, won Worlds, won Pan Ams, won Europeans, and I just like, he was like, cool. And then we had a falling out. I ended up moving away, went to Atos. Before I officially left Las Vegas, I was doing camps at Atos for Pan Ams and Worlds, and then I went over there and then made the move, and then that was it. And then I was there, and then
You got your black belt under Andre.
under Andre. Yeah, I got my black belt in December, so it's not even been a year yet. So,
Yeah.
Wow.
but from this will be not nice for me to say, but the day I was a brown belt for 5 years before I got my black belt, and when I got to Andre's, I was a 4 straight brown belt with already world titles, second place at Worlds, 2 Pan Am titles, and Andre sat me and was like, you're gonna have to be the person you said you want to be if you want to get it. So that was a tough battle too, like being there for 2.5 years. I mean, like, part of that fire thing, I was like, man, I don't really want to compete. I've already done everything at Brown. Like,
Yeah,
if I don't
right.
win Worlds, and I already won Worlds, people are going to think I'm a joke. Like, I was
Right.
just battling myself, and he's just like, when you're ready, you're ready. And then gave me a black belt. And I'm like, oh, cool, thanks.
So you're
How'd
there
you do
for
it?
2 years first.
How do you do it? With
I literally
Zizit?
just got back from losing to Gio at EBI in Mexico.
Shut up. Really?
It was like a week. It was like 2 weeks later. Yeah.
You were a brown belt? at
I
that
thought you
time?
were a black belt
I
at that
thought
time.
so did I.
Wow. No shit.
And he literally he promoted everybody, and like,
So it was a ceremony?
yeah, once or twice a year they have like a ceremony. So
Okay.
like there's like 20 some odd plus promotions going on, and black belt usually is like, you never know. Like, everybody at HQ, other than black belts, and even some of the black belts, if they're hobbyists, know that they're getting promoted. Like, they get an email like, hey, make sure you show up.
Right.
What size belt are you? I'm not into it, but you know, to each their own. And I had no idea.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there, and he gave out every single belt, and he's got this look in his face. He's just like, and I'm like, oh man, what's gonna happen here? And it's a huge story anyway, but like, he's like, I'm gonna do one more, and he told the manager to grab a belt, and then he just goes, Kristian. And I walked out, started crying, and just took my belt off, tied it off, and that was it.
Wow.
I was done.
Yeah.
It was super weird.
Yeah.
Not what I thought it was gonna be, but yeah.
No?
So it's been it's an awful experience actually. So
Why do you say that?
well, it was weird because like me and Andre were very, very, very close for a long time. Like, I was like, this dude's like my dad.
Yeah.
I was like doing a lot of things at HQ. I was teaching a lot of classes. I was impacting a lot of people. I was being a positive influence. I was being a good example. I was doing the things that he was asking me to do. And then I was just kind of like, hey man, like, there's some things that I want to do, and like, I feel like I'm being held back, because that's just mentally where I was. I was just like, like, I'm not into this anymore. Like, I'm in the best place in the world, and I feel like I'm ready for a black belt. And like, there would be times where I would say it, and there'd be times where I kind of like hit off because I didn't want to get yelled at, but he'd just be like, dude, don't ask me.
Right.
Don't ask me. But I'd see him have other open conversations with like Orlando Sampson and Carbolito, and be like, oh, you're probably this far away from your black. And like, never, the word black never came out of Andre's mouth with me in conversation. But it could be because of who I was, just our relationship. And like, he was like, and I jumped around a lot of places. I've been on multiple teams, and like, I was getting to that time where like every 3 years I kind of switched or something like that.
Right.
And he was like, he's like, are you always going to be Atos? You can always be representative. Are you going to be a good person? Being a black belt is a very specific thing. I didn't understand it. I'm just like, yeah, cool, man. Yeah. Like, I just want to hurt people. Like, yeah. But then I lost at G, and I was kind of like, like, I'm just not in this anymore. Like, I don't know what I want to do. Like, I need to start thinking about my family. And he literally said to me, he goes, if you're a black belt and I give you a black belt, are you going to be a representative of the team and like represent Atos? And I'd be like, I'm always going to do what's best for my family, and that's the only thing that I'm ever going to focus on. And if that's with you, it's with you. If it's not, it's not. But I don't know that until I get to that point. And he was kind of like, and then he just promoted me. And that was it. So.
See, that's a good answer.
Well, like, who knows?
Right.
Maybe it is, maybe it's not,
Right.
But that day was weird because, like, he called me in. He was like, I need you to come up to the academy. And I'm like, promotions aren't until later. And I wasn't planning on coming in and doing anything and being supportive at promotions anyway. And he goes, I need your help. So, like, I went, like, 3 hours beforehand. And I walk up. I'm like, what do you need? And he goes, clean the mats. And I'm like, okay. Is there somebody that's not able to clean the mats? And he goes, I asked you to clean the mats. This is your house. Do you want to clean the mats? And I'm like, I'll clean the mats. Clean the mats. Then they were hanging up all of his medals. Like, they were reframing everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's like, hold this nail. And I'm holding the nail. and he's on the ladder, and like it's very like it's just there's just this just weird vibe. Like I'm like, what am I doing here? Right. Then hanging everything up, and then I'm like, okay, what else? And he goes, nothing, and then just walked away. And I'm just like, man, there's something going on here. And I just waited like 2 hours. Like the kids' promotions were first, and like I was like, do you need help with the kids' promotions? And he goes, no, we're good. And I'm like, man, what the fuck am I doing here? And then adult promotions came on. I sat there for like 45 minutes, watched everybody get promoted, and that was the last one, and that was it. And like I've told him beforehand, I was like, it's very important for me, like my family's involved. Like my family would have flown out to San Diego. My mom and dad would have been there. Yeah, so it was just, I was appreciative. And it was just like weird circumstances. I was kind of into it, but like it wasn't like what I like. Rolando, you see Rolando's promotions are on YouTube, you know, and it's like it's this huge thing, and his family is there, and like Lear gets his belt, Bear's there from Show Your Roll, Gracie Mag is there, you know, and then it's just me, and I'm like, I'm appreciative. I respect it. I appreciate it a lot. Like, you know, it's awesome that I was able to accomplish such a thing, and Andre feels like I deserved it, which is awesome. Right. You know, I wish it was a little bit different. You know, it'll teach me how to be a better example and like do things. But like, it was a super interesting situation because every other time I was getting promoted on the podium, it's like you won, here you go. Yeah, you know, and I was just like, I won Europeans. I came back, and I'm like, nah. And I'm like, oh shit, okay, cool. You know, there's opportunity. Just kind of like Kaio. Kaio didn't get promoted to black belt until he lost. Yeah, I heard that. Interview super weird, right? Yeah. So I'm just like, okay, I guess we're very similar, and it's just like, you know, we're just maybe it was my ego.
Which wasn't had to be knocked down a peg or something.
A few, and even now looking back, I'm like, man, like I probably shouldn't have got my black belt at all. I don't think I was ready for it. Right. But like that's not I don't know what it's like to be a black belt, so I don't know what it takes to be one. Andre does, so he's my instructor. I choose him, and he feels as though I was ready, so he gave it to me. And there's a short list of Andre Galvao black belts, so I can't be like, you're wrong, you know? Yeah. But it's just like, oh man, like I look back now, I'm like, I don't even know why he'd even think about promoting me, because like I feel like as a character and as a human being, I just wasn't there yet. Yeah. And I'm getting better every day with it, but like maybe that was part of like once you get this, you'll be a better person. Yeah. We don't talk about it, so I don't know. Crazy.
So we're like when you trained at Lloyd Irving's, were you there during the whole like scandal?
No, I left beforehand. Okay. I've always been really close with JT, but
were you surprised when that came out? Were you like,
Going back to like the technology thing, it was just the timing of things, and like, you know, social media played a big part in like getting the word out about things, you know. And
Paul, why don't you explain what that scandal was?
Yeah, why don't you explain what your take is on the situation?
So, what I know about it, because I read this like a couple of years ago, so I'm working off memory here, but I think what happened was two guys on the team and allegedly raped another female member of the team, right? And then there was a court case, and it was kind of dragged out, and I don't think Lloyd kicked the guys off the team, which definitely was not good. And then also, because it was in the news and the headlines or whatever going around the jiu-jitsu community, I think news of Lloyd himself being involved in a rape from like the 80s started to surface, right? Mm-hmm. That's really all I know about it. And then it started to come out where guys are like, or female students are like, I had to leave the school because, you know, it was uncomfortable, and he would like tickle the girls and shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I didn't know anything
That's
about it.
what I remember of it. I mean, does that sound like what you heard? Or
I know something about that, but I don't know the details.
Is that anywhere near?
I mean, like I said, like I wasn't there, so like I wouldn't say that I have like an inside line on the situation either, but like I was in touch with a lot of the sense of like reading everything and seeing what was going on, and there's a lot of obviously opinion that's out there and whatnot it may be, but I know that the two guys that were involved were representatives of Lloyd Irvin. They were currently living in Maryland at the academy, and the girl was part of the team as well. Girls are not allowed to stay at the house. I cannot confirm or deny where she was staying. I honestly don't know. But I know that multiple people went out, and I know that those two guys were there and she was there, so I don't know who else was there with them, but I know that they were intoxicated, they were drinking, having a good time. From what I read and from what I heard, and reason why that both boys were found not guilty was that because she multiple times during the night before the actual incident that she brought up was when she said no, that there was other physical exchanging things going on between both of them. and her and both of the guys. So it just kind of, from my take, it was kind of like, we're doing this, then we get here, and I don't know really what's going on anymore, and I feel like this happened, and now we're here, so like it kind of got in an awkward position to where you're intoxicated. I feel like when you're a woman, you say no means no, but like now you're at a point where everybody's intoxicated. I don't know if someone's being led on or not. Like that's all opinion. It's not my opinion, whatever it may be. But I know for a fact what took place is Lloyd then became, like he disassociated and there was no more Lloyd affiliates after that point in time. Like he was like, everybody is off of, like there's no more Team Lloyd Irvin. So like, well, what happened is teams started individually doing it first because they didn't want to be guilty by association type thing. Right. But then Lloyd was like, to save you guys and to like just make this clear, like I'm just going to disassociate all of you. Like none of you guys are affiliated anymore. Like you guys are going to be your own entities. And then like there was people saying things that like Lloyd was buying like LloydIrvinRapePrevention.com web, like different URLs, and like it was kind of like, what is he doing? Is he marketing this? Is he trying to get as much out of this situation as possible? Then his situation came up, and there was other people in the team, their situations in their past came up, and it started to become really messy and dirty. Some people were saying that Lloyd actually paid for the attorney of one of the boys for the case and some other stuff and whatnot. But all I know is in the end is basically your core group of guys, a majority of them, not all of them. Spriggs stayed, DJ stayed, Nyjah, but other people did leave. Schultz, the other Schultz left, Jordan Schultz left, Keenan, Andres, Perez, Pino, these other guys, they left because they just didn't want to be a part of it anymore. Yeah. Like I said, and JT would stay time at Camp Springs, but his family's from like New York and New Jersey, so he was like, we would train at Jared's and everything else like that together and whatnot, so they just all made the change to leave because they didn't want to be, they were as close to the situation as possible. They didn't want to be associated, so they just left, but some people stayed and some people went. Yeah. It was messy. I mean, it still comes up too. I'm 99% sure that both kids that were involved, I know one for a fact, but both kids that are involved are banned from any jiu-jitsu competition in terms of spectating or competing.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it by who? The IBJJF or just like everybody that knows about it? I'm
not sure if it's just everybody or IBJ. I don't even know if it's still the case, but like I knew at one point in time, like there was an incident where like Nick went to an event and they were like, you can't be here, and they escorted him out and like you can't come to events anymore and blah blah blah. I mean, because when you're a black belt and you like get certified and everything like that, like you've got to do like a background check, like.
Was that right?
Yeah, oh yeah. So like he could never be a certified black belt at this point in time.
Where do those guys train anymore? I mean, did any gym?
I believe, from what I know, Matt lives in New York still. He always lived in New York, but he went to Lloyd's to kind of like get some training in. And he was just like, I wouldn't say he was even a hardcore member of the team. He was just like a distant cousin or something like that. Like he's from New York. He was training with the Lions. He's actually an Alliance guy. He was a brown belt at the time. I'm not sure what he is now. And then he went to Lloyd's to like do some training, get serious with his jiu-jitsu and his MMA, and that happened. And he left. He went back to New York, and I'm pretty sure he's an instructor in New York. He's just teaching Muay Thai. Yeah. I've met him. I think he's a super stand-up guy. I mean, I don't know his character. I don't know anything else other than that. I just exchanged words with him. I think we fought each other once or twice, but super nice guy. But Nick, I heard, moved to San Diego, and he was living in San Diego, and he was trying to train at a bunch of different places, and some places didn't work out, and he was having a difficult time like acclimating to whatever his environment was. And I don't know what he's doing now, but I mean that's the last time that I heard anything about him. Yeah, it's crazy. But it hasn't really come up since then, which is weird. So, but a lot of people were just like getting like information like, oh, this person did this 25 years ago, blah 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 blah, and it's just like DJ was getting roped in, Lloyd was getting roped in, and other people were like just pointing fingers and getting crazy. It got really really crazy.
Yeah,
it was huge.
Very weird. I mean, that whole like he had a house, right, where it was like the dormitory.
It's called the Jungle. Yeah,
the Jungle. Yeah, and it was like a jiu-jitsu dorm essentially, and Lloyd owned the house and let the guys stay there for free, and also they got to train for free, right? I mean, nobody paid tuition.
I couldn't confirm or deny.
Right.
I mean, I'm not, like I said, like I didn't live in Maryland, so I'm not sure what they're. I think each person had their own different setup.
Right.
You know, I think some people had to do certain jobs, like some people had responsibilities, and like that was their ability to stay in the house and whatnot. But I mean, like, in the sense of like major competitors, I don't think anybody pays tuition. Like I said, I paid tuition for like 1 month one time because it was like a sploof type of thing. But like, I don't think those guys were paying tuition because they were just part of the culture of the situation. So,
But does anyone else do that? Like just put together a team, put guys up, feed them, give them, mat time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do they?
Like a whole group of people. I mean, that costs a lot of money. Who else is doing that?
Like a Jackson Winklejohn type situation?
Like a fighter house situation?
Where it doesn't cost the fighter anything. It's just
Well, I mean, there's got to be
here.
there's I'm sure in some degree there's some kind of like exchange, I mean, I'm sure you can go somewhere in New York and there's an Alliance house where there's probably a couple of Brazilians all living in the house, and maybe they kick in some money, whatever it may be, but like they're more so being helped, and the instructor has enough money to help them out, and maybe they teach class, or maybe they clean, or whatever it may be, but like all those things go full circle.
Yeah.
Each place has fighter houses, but I mean, to what degree? I mean, it's more MMA related. You see fighter houses, but like I've seen it in jiu-jitsu. Like I know Cyborg has a fighter house in Miami, and like he paid for the place, and like each person kind of kicks in some amount of money, and guests come in and they stay there, and like he puts part of his package. But like, there's nobody saying like, here's a house. There's 8 people. I'm paying for the house. I'm paying for all of you to eat. None of that's happening. There's some kind of like you got to do some stuff on your own. But some people are instructors, and then some people are doing some other stuff. So I mean, it works out. But those are the dudes that are most successful because they're able to focus 100% on training.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah. I mean, Paul quit his job a while ago, and his game has improved so much just because of how much time he's putting.
How often do you train?
Twice a day now.
Every day?
Except for this week. I mean, I've been doing 2 days for like the last month, and holy shit, it's starting to hit me now. Where it's like,
what were you doing before you quit?
It'd be roughly 3 days a week.
3 days a week.
Oh man, you're like quadrupling your intake.
Yeah, exactly.
And you train with Andre.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who's the? I fought a kid from Andre's before. Who's the kid that won Europeans at Brown?
At Brown?
Skinny?
Yeah.
Oh, Skinny.
Rooster?
Yeah.
Yeah. I fought him at Pan Am's. Andre was really upset with that fight.
Was he? Yeah. He's a passionate dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yelling a lot.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because it was like Andre and Angelica and the other Andre.
Yeah.
I think is his name Daniel?
Who?
The skinny kid.
Oh, his real name?
I don't know his
I
real
forget
name.
his name.
We've been with Mineko for, I don't know, like 8 months now or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
And Skinny got his brown belt under Mineko and trained there for years, but lives in Brazil now.
Yeah, he's Brazilian.
And he just like lives there for like $200 a month.
Yeah,
and
he's super good. He's super nice. I knew he won Europeans because then I was like, because I saw him when I had him first match, and I was like, oh, I'm fighting the European champ, and then I fought him at Pan Am's. But I was like, oh, he's from Andres, and like I like Andre. Andre's really cool.
Yeah.
We fought on the same card in Philly.
That's right.
So super cool dude, and like I've had Andre ref many matches up to that point in time, and then I'm looking over, I'm like, there's a ref coach, and it's like, oh no, it's a student. So it's super cool. But like, yeah, I remember him being from that academy because I remember Andre was coaching him. So, but I wasn't sure if he lived here or not, but I knew he was Brazilian. So super cool. Small world.
It is. So how is EBI? I mean, how'd they treat you? Good?
EBI is good. I mean, Eddie's a good dude. He's always trying to help people out. He's obviously a businessman. They're making great strides, getting on UFC Fight Pass, they're having all these cards. So I think like guys like Eddie and Seth, the Polaris guys, like they're trying their best to like lift and push jiu-jitsu like outside of IBJF to like grow and be able to like supply. Like there's no event that I know that you can go as a child, teen, doesn't matter, right? Non-white belt, I should say, blue belt, purple, whatever it may be, and you can go to a tournament and actually get paid to do jiu-jitsu. So like these guys are giving those opportunities. Some of them are actually just paying you something that's like, oh, you need to win, blah, blah, blah. But like I wasn't getting paid from the IBJJF ever. So it's like, oh, here's a gold medal. It's like, cool, is there a check? Nah. And it's like, oh, all right. So I mean, like I think their job is a lot harder because they've got to pay these guys and they've got to create that revenue and they've got to make it exciting and they've got to get it on Fight Pass. So I think they're doing it right, but like EBI's a cool, like I love Eddie. I think Eddie's a great dude. I love how trippy and like I don't agree with 90% of the shit he says, but like I love how he geeks out about it. Sure. To see him that passionate about chemtrails, I'm just like, yeah, dude, I don't even know how to spell chemtrails, but this is awesome. You know? But like his whole staff is really cool. Like they always do good stuff. Like I've been on 2 EBIs, but like they do a great job. It's really awesome. I love EBI. I wish they started to like evolve more because I feel like EBI 1 and EBI now, the only thing that's changed is that to a degree the competitors very small rules have been changed. There's no structure for pay or anything like that. So like I feel like it should be evolving more. Like Seth is trying to give more money out every single time, and like you see, like we're trying to give out $1 million, blah blah blah. Like,
I just saw a post that they've given away like over 500,000.
over 500 grand.
Yeah, and they're still 5 months out
away from their goal
from the year.
Yeah, I wonder what Eddie's thing. Man, I really would love to get him on the podcast, but what his whole thing is like. I agree with you. Like, are they pushing him? Are they trying to get more money? I mean, yeah, having a $50,000 grand prize was Mexico 50,000?
I think it was 50 or 25. I can't remember. Which
Well, I mean, are they putting you guys up too?
when we got there, when I was going, they asked me. They paid for my round trip flight.
Okay.
All the fighters were staying at like when you got to Mexico, it was in Mexico City, but like they literally brought you to the venue. They pick you up from the airport. They drop. It's like they're taking care of you. But like it's at like where they hold. Mexico keeps their Olympians. So like you literally go into this like fortress type compound, and like there are kids there, boys and girls that do nothing but train full. Like they're at school full time. Wow. There's dorms. There's a dining hall. There's like a bunch. Like, and that's where we were. And I was like, oh, okay. Like it's not 5-star. It's not crazy, but like the event's there. You're there. Like it's super convenient. It's comfortable. If you've never been taken care of in jiu-jitsu before, like. I mean, I'm used to like, oh, seminar, pick me up, fly me out, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm doing a super fight, pay for my flight. I got it. But like, there's other dudes that were just like, oh, man, this is crazy. Like, yeah, you deserve it. That's awesome, you know? So they're taking care of those dudes. I mean, even like when you're doing like the local ones in LA, whatever it may be, like, they're like, do you need anything? What's going on? There's water downstairs. Here's what's going on. This is how we're going to do things. They're super respectful and humble. But like, I think they're doing a lot more than IBJJF in all aspects. I mean, IBJJF does more for the refs than they do for the athletes. Mm-hmm. And like, cool, if you win a black belt world title, you can compete for free, and they'll refund all of your registrations ever. That's awesome, right?
Really?
But
is that really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they'll be like, okay, you get a check, boom, done. That's cool, and I mean they should, considering the racket that they're running. But like, yeah, that's cool. But like, still, like, then like, oh, we'll do a pro. Like, okay, cool. How do you get in the pro? You got to compete and qualify. How many points do you need? 30. I don't know what the number is, you know? And it's like, okay, well, I'm probably going to spend, to compete that often and get that many points from a no-name guy, and I want to make money, I'm probably going to spend probably close to like $3,500 for all this stuff. How much do I win? $2,000. Okay, you know, so like, but if you're Andre and you're like Buchecha and you're fighting for 40 grand, by the way, they don't need it. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's cool. Like, it'd be great if
Andre's going to be at ADCC this year.
Yeah,
right?
he's the current super fight champion. So if he wins this one, he will be the longest reigning super fight champion because he fought Braulio, he fought Cyborg. So this will be his third one in a row. If he beats Cal Sanz, he'll be a 3-time super fight champion.
Yeah. How much are they giving him to go out there?
I can't confirm or deny, but a decent amount, probably six figures. Yeah. $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000.
But just to show up, he gets money.
I would imagine something like that. Yeah.
It's crazy.
He gets that, and then.
Well, remember, ADCC is run by the Sheik.
Right.
They got oil money, quote unquote. You know, so like everybody that goes to ADCCs is invited, so they're all being flown out there.
Right.
Their hotel is paid for. Right. Their food is paid for while they're there. So like, the Sheik has the money, and not to mention they're getting the venue, they're paying the refs. So like, the expenses are there, you know? So, like, you have the ability to pay these dudes. But, like, I've trained with dudes like Drysdale and, like, Sonny O'Hara, and those guys are like, the Sheik has had me out for 1 week and paid me an astronomical amount of money to give him private lessons for the week.
Yeah.
And you're like, how much? And then he tells you, and you're like, what? That's more than the average person makes in a year in the United States, you know? So, like, that money can go out there. But, like, Andre's got a huge following. He's got that pull, and he deserves it. He's a super fight champion. I mean, I don't know how much Cal Sanz is getting paid, but, I mean, I imagine they both get probably paid the same amount to show up, and then winning is winning, so.
Right.
Didn't Renzo Gracie give someone a black belt out there? Is that right?
I don't know, maybe. Is it the Sheik's son?
Is that right?
Maybe.
I thought
I think he did. It was, like, an honorary black belt for, like, kind of like everything that he's done for jiu-jitsu.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's just so much. They're doing crazy things over there.
Yeah, they've got
their ability to support jiu-jitsu, like the guys that are teaching in Dubai and like how they take care of them. Like, and there's world-class black belts that are out there, and they're like, we're paying. When I was a brown belt after winning worlds, I was like, just for giggles, I'll see what these people say. And this was like when it was just kind of like not a big thing yet. Palm Sports was the organization, like the promotion that was like basically connecting instructors to going over, and they were saying that if I was married, we would both get insurance benefits. They would fly both of us. They would house and pay for both of us. On top of, they would also pay me a salary.
Wow.
Whoa.
And that was just to teach jujitsu. So that's going out there, and that was as a brown belt, just with my like they're like, okay,
Yeah.
well, who are? And then it was like, oh, okay, and like I was like, I got a Robert Drysdale certified brown belt, like they're like, oh, okay, blah blah, like then they talk to so and so, they're like, I know who that guy, like, and then it's cool, you know, but like, imagine like, I mean, for a period of time, Alex Trans, I don't know if he still is, but he was out there and he was teaching. That dude's getting taken care of, and they're allowing him to still go and compete. So it's like, that's the life, if that's what you're into. They take care of their dudes out there. And you're teaching kids, or you're teaching military or something like that. But it's like, and it's not like you're teaching 9 to 5 every day. You're teaching like 2-3 classes a day, 5 days a week.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I do now for a fraction of the money. So it's
Right.
like, man, but you're all the way there.
Yeah.
Different lifestyle. You can compete at World Pro, which is cool, and like go for Worlds and Pans. But like, they're taking care of their people out there. It's
Yeah.
huge, but it's part of their curriculum. It's like, I don't know. I don't think kids do PE now because it's too dangerous. They can't play dodgeball or something like that. But like over there, like they do jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Like,
Really?
How big?
Jiu-jitsu.
I mean, how big is it out there though?
It's huge.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, like, have you ever seen World Pro? Like
Yeah.
like they built that just for jiu-jitsu and like for like that's like a multi-million-dollar billing just for like they don't do anything else there. Like they're like, we do jiu-jitsu and judo here. Like they're pouring money into
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu. over
And they're
there.
not. Are they just not interested in anything with the United States? Probably not.
I don't know.
right?
Maybe it's
Just not their
political. Maybe
thing.
it's not. It's just not their thing.
They'll
but-
just poach some guys, bring them over there, pay them a lot of money, and then.
I mean,
Maybe.
who's like the biggest stud out of Dubai right now? Like born
like
and bred.
competing.
Yeah.
Nobody.
There is no one, right? There's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I-
That's the
'cause I
thing,
don't
but like
know.
remember, jiu-jitsu in Europe is behind here.
Yeah.
Right? So like if there's guys there that are winning, they were from somewhere else. Trans is not Afghan or like he's not from there. He's first of all he speaks Portuguese. He lives in Brazil now. He trains with Rodolfo, but like I'm pretty sure he's Swedish or something like that nature. So like, but like he left to get good. So like they're just behind. But like who knows? Like 5, 6, 7, 8 years from now, there may be heavy hitters from Dubai. Because these dudes are like, okay, well, I got my black belt. I'm training really hard, and now I've got the ability to train all day, get paid, and then do
Right.
jiu-jitsu. Who knows? But they don't have world-class training partners. That's what Europe's all about. There's not enough world-class athletes to build world-class athletes.
I see.
So it's tough.
Huh. Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, how much do you think it costs Eddie to throw an EBI event?
Well, I don't think
he-
Eddie's paying for it. I think he.
Now he's got
well,
enough
now
sponsors.
Kind of
now
like
that
Fight
Fight
Pass
Pass came in, but
is involved.
he eventually, I mean, originally was paying for it.
Yeah, but EBI 1, 2, et cetera, like they were like
Local.
small
Yeah.
enough events to the point to where it's like, and you're not paying any. It's like they didn't pay anybody. They're not flying anybody in.
Yeah.
They're selling tickets to a degree. So like, and I'm sure with the first few shows, maybe they did lose money because it's an investment. It's a business, right? But like, at some point in time, it's just like now we're making money because there's. In my frame of mind, how I do business, there's no way that I'm having an EBI in Mexico City unless I'm making money.
Right.
Because you're flying all those guys out there. You're paying for those guys. On top of it is on Fight Pass. Like so, like he's not only making money, but like he's paying for everything at the same time. So,
Right.
but remember that was a one and done thing. Now they're all back in the U.S. again. So like I don't know if they're still flying people out. I mean, I'm sure 1 or 2 big name guys will fly out, but
Right.
who knows?
Yeah.
He's got to be. I mean, he's very successful in teaching jiu-jitsu in his academy too. So maybe he's got the ability to bring in money from other revenues. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be nice to just pay them just to come in.
Yeah.
Like here's a couple $1,000 in your flights, hotel. I mean, how much it's 16 people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, really, a couple $1,000 just to have them come in. This way you kind of secure them.
It's tough because jiu-jitsu is at a point in time to where it's like it's still holding itself back. Like
Yeah.
if you look at it clear across the board, like tuition costs and like registrations and everything else like that, like just still doesn't add up yet. Like if you go to New York, tuition's $240, $250, something $100 a month, right? Cost of living there is expensive as well.
Right.
So like, but in New York, if I'm paying $3,000 a month for an apartment, I don't mind spending $250 for training, right?
Right.
Now travel 95 miles south of Philadelphia, where the cost of living compared to New York is probably cut in half. That same apartment is probably $1,500, but the training is $190. So it's like, how does that level out, right? Because the value of jiu-jitsu and the cost of living aren't like always going hand in hand. So it's like, if Eddie starts going like, hey, 16 dudes, I'll fly you out here, I'm all going to pay you $5,000 each. One, that's a lot of money for him to spend, and they're super appreciative. But now there's this new like, this is the standard now.
I see. Yeah.
IBJJF can't do it. Well, they could. They're not going to. You know, they should at least do it for their black belts or something. Well, I don't know, but there you go. The whole hierarchy system. But like nobody else can afford that. Polaris is using a lot of guys that are from Europe for majority of their card because it's just too expensive to float. Now they're going to be on Fight Pass though, so we'll see.
They are going to be on Fight Pass. I saw that. Yeah.
But you know, it just the jiu-jitsu doesn't make sense yet. Like people don't see the value in it yet. No one wants to pay that kind of money to go watch an event. Like Fight to Win's doing very well because they understand how to market it and get the people involved and everybody makes money, but everybody else is just way behind. Fight to Win will be the big thing because the way that they're structuring it.
Yeah.
They're making money, people are making money, everybody's making money.
Right.
That's how to do it.
Yeah, who's the big sponsors for Fight to Win? Like who do they have? Like
they have Muscle Farm.
Muscle Farm. Okay, yeah, that's one of them. But do they have like a Miller Lite? They don't have anything like that, do they? No, right?
Muscle Farm, I think, is that, and Muscle Farm does like submission of the night, fight of the night bonuses.
Yes, right.
They do, but they do it in like in supplements.
Yes.
Now, does Flow pay them? Like, does Fight to Win get money from Flow?
That's behind the scene logistics. I don't know. I would imagine there's some kind of trade off where it's like, hey, maybe we get X amount of percentage for how many people sign up and watch, whatever it may be, but they've all got to be benefit. Because now Flow is incorporated with much every single fight organization's going on with IBJJF, EBI, all these.
Oh, are they? No, Flow doesn't have EBI, do they?
Flow's doing EBI, I think, isn't it?
Are they? I don't know.
I don't think.
No, it's just Fight Pass.
I think it's just Fight Pass.
Oh, it's exclusive.
So
Because
there
it's
you go.
exclusive with UFC.
Okay, there you go.
Zuffa and all, or whatever that new.
Okay.
Whoever bought Zuffa.
So like I mean, like however Flow Grappling is doing it, they're doing it, but.
But Flow's got like five. What's it called? 5 grappling.
5.
Yeah.
So they got 5 IBJJF.
Right.
Fight to Win.
Gracie Pro.
Polaris.
No, Polaris
is now Fight Pass.
It's okay.
This next event will be their first Fight Pass event. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know how they work that money out, but I mean, like.
But Flow's got to get better, man. It's so sketchy sometimes.
Well, they try to use the system from the wrestling, which is awesome. I feel like that was like a great structure to bring over to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But still, like, it's still not where it needs to be. Because, like, wrestling is great, and there's a wrestling community is 10 times bigger than jiu-jitsu anyway, but, like, there's not a wrestling thing going on every weekend. Fight to Win is every weekend.
Yeah.
So it's like, you've got to be able to infrastructure, be able to accept that kind of traffic and get things going. Like, my girlfriend was watching, she goes, there's no audio. I'm like, I don't understand what that means. I'm not a computer guy. Like, what? Like, I think everybody doesn't have audio, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, so who knows? But you're paying for the website. You want the product you're paying for. So I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I think that just the streaming is weak. It kicked me out a bunch of times during the Hydra Gracie.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, the Buchacha fight, yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of like, what the fuck, man?
What the fuck?
Yeah, I would have
It'll
been
pause.
pissed.
It'll just freeze. You're like, is it
I
gonna
can't imagine how
resume?
many people are watching it too,
Right.
And how many people are legally streaming it and all that other stuff. But like, yeah, but they're making enough money to where they should be able to bring their product up. But they're doing a lot too for the sport. Like they're flying people out to World Pro to be there for the because Fight to Win doesn't have Flow Grappling present. They have their own film crew who's recording, and then they have the people who are doing the commentating, and then it's facilitated to Flow.
Oh, I see.
Flow is actually going to Worlds, going to World Pro, going to the IBJJ. Like, and they're like, I was like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Like, there's those dudes that are there. So, like, I think they're more involved and they're getting closer to it. But, like every single day, the Flow Grappling guys were recording, editing, doing interviews, walking around. Like, so, like, they're more involved, but the website thing just needs to get built up.
Yeah, because the Fight to Win, they don't, like, after the main card, you can't get all the little fights on the next day. You got to wait a few days for it to actually populate, which is, kind of like, I'm like impatient. I'm like, I just got to see who won. Yeah. And it's like, okay. Then I'll watch the fight later,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they got to, they'll figure it out.
They're kind of sketchy too. I'm like, hey, can I have my fight? And they'll allow me to have a clip. Like they did that clip on Flow Grappling for like my last fight, like the last 45 seconds. So they gave that to me, and I was like, well, can I have the fight so I can post it? And like he was like, I can't send you the fight, but I can't stop you from getting the fight. And it's just like, all right, cool, man. So like, but like at some degree, you should be like okay, if you're fighting in the card, this should be your perks. Like you should be able to get a free Flow Grappling 2-month trial. Then you should be able to get all of your content for free. Do something else for the guys too, because I mean, half the people that are marketing it are the ones that are actually fighting on it.
Yeah,
so like,
true.
if you build a highlight for Tom DeBloss and give Tom DeBloss boost like flow grappling, blah blah, like that's only gonna make you more money. But I don't do their business stuff.
But I don't think they're too expensive. I think they're
I don't know how much
very
it is.
reasonable.
Yeah, I would
It was
not pay for
under
membership.
$200 for the year.
Yeah, it was. What did I pay? $118 for the year.
For the year. It's
That's
really
not bad then.
No,
Yeah.
it's very expensive. Yeah, it's worth it.
Definitely.
I still pay for. I'm going to say this all, but like Eddie Bravo's like mastering the system.
Mastering the System. It's
Yeah, I paid the-
$4.99 a month. I
I
know.
paid the $50, and I literally I've logged in when I bought it almost 3 years ago, and I've never logged in since.
See that $4.99 is perfect to get you to keep. Just like I'm not
Just-
gonna cancel.
Yeah.
$50, I'm gonna cancel.
I
But
know.
I just because I got an email the other day wishing me a happy birthday. You know, it's like this automated thing, and I'm like, fuck, I'm still signed up with this thing.
I pay $4.99 for that email.
I pay $4.99 every year. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just keep it.
There you go. That's how he's paying for it.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's 20 dudes like you. They're just like, I'll pay $4.99.
Yeah,
No
fuck it.
problem.
Yeah.
I did MG in action for
How's
like
that
a
going?
month.
Oh, you quit?
Is that
Oh, yeah.
expensive?
It's $25 a month.
Wow.
It's not bad.
So, but
I mean, for the it's
Oh,
Marcelo.
It's Marcelo, yeah. Of
and
course,
it's like
right.
all of his content.
Yeah.
You know. So
But
you
I mean,
watch his
with-
rolls. You
that's
watch his
cool,
teach.
which is really cool. But
Yeah.
you gotta to really get. You gotta rep it. You gotta be like.
Yeah.
I couldn't justify.
Does it give you the ability to download, or is it only streaming and like view the videos?
No, it's got a whole archived library.
But can you download
could
to your
type in
computer?
single leg X and like.
Can you download?
Can you
it?
take the content?
Oh, I'm not. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's probably just streamed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wouldn't make sense otherwise.
Have you been on AOJ's website? Or?
Yeah. So I did Marcelo's for like a month, maybe 2 months, and I just kind of like logged into it twice. I'm like, I can't justify paying for this. You know, I'm just not using it enough.
Right.
And then I kept on seeing like super slick shit from the Mendez brothers on Instagram, and I'm like, you know what? I want to go through their catalog. Like I'll pay for that for 1 month, same price, $25.
Yeah.
It is. Marcelo's site is like almost overwhelming. There's so much video on there.
Yeah.
It's like you'll get fucking lost in there. AOJ, it's just like the gym and their geese. It's
very
a
clean.
super fucking clean site, you know?
Yeah.
And it's cool. I mean, if you
They had the same feature with like the hash, like you can search a specific thing and then it
Yeah.
pops everything up. Yeah.
yeah, if I had more time, I would do it. I mean, you know,
Andre has one now for HQ, but like, I'm not sure what AOJ's is now. Do they have all the instructors on there? Or is it just the Mendez brothers?
all of them.
Yeah,
on
so
there.
like Atos is the same way. So like now like you can go in, you can click on like it's like Andre, Rolando, Lucas, Hanger, like Pablo, like all these dudes, and you can see their specific stuff. You can search and everything like that. But like I think it's the same price. I think it's like $25 a month or something.
Yeah.
Like that. $250 for the year or something like that. That's the new thing that's going to be blowing up soon. Is like realistic during class content uploaded straight to you. I mean, if you don't want to pay $300 a month to do actual class, you can just pay $25 a month to see the content. So
Yeah. Man,
who knows?
so much stuff coming out.
Making money.
Well, I mean, the more content out there, you know, better it is for jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know, just gotta get it out there.
Absolutely.
So you've got some pretty exciting news coming up, right? You were telling us earlier.
Yeah.
So I know this is going to air in a couple weeks, which will already be happening. So why don't you tell us what you're doing?
So the plan is like we said, I'm moving back to Philly. I actually, the last time I was home when I fought on the Philly card, I put a deposit down on an engagement ring. It was being custom built and made since obviously.
Custom built and made.
Yeah.
Wow.
But girls are very subtle. They're like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah, right. They're real
Like
subtle.
I would, if I were to have this, I would do it like this, you know, that type of thing. So,
Yeah.
my girlfriend, she means the world to me. She wanted black diamonds, and she wanted, you know, like
Really?
oh, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, like well, yeah, it's
that's
cool.
pretty
It's
cool.
I don't know. I've never worn a ring in my life.
Now she
So,
like tattooed up like you are.
man,
or-
you would never guess. She's like 4'10". She's super tiny. She's like 90 pounds. She's got no tattoos.
Oh, really?
She's
Okay.
she doesn't do any type of training. She doesn't do any type of jiu-jitsu. She's kind of like, oh, jiu-jitsu is cool. She's like, I'll submit you. You know, just like smack or whatever maybe. But like she's just super nice, super supportive. She's like really, really like I'm really big into communication. She's like a great communicator, but like
Good.
we're complete polar opposites. I've had serious relationships with like jiu-jitsu girls like world-class jiu-jitsu competitor girls. And I'm just like, this is cool. We can do jiu-jitsu together, you know? And then like smash her and she's like really good. And like, let's go train today, you know? And then like, it's just like, I'm getting away from that stuff, but no tattoos. I would love if she was covered in tattoos, but you know, I accept her for who she is.
That's
so.
cool. That's cool.
But I was home, so I did a deposit on the ring. She showed me how far along it was. So like basically she showed me like it's like 3 big size black diamonds. So she like pulled those out, and there's smaller diamonds all the way around. But like she showed me like the I don't know the terms or the logics for it. Like it's like the foundation of the ring and like the stages of where it was at. And she's supposed to do like engraving, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, just make it look nice. I don't care. So I pick up the ring on Tuesday.
Nice.
So we move in. Obviously, we get in. We're unpacking our stuff. So like I'm gonna either do it Tuesday, but I gotta teach all day Tuesday, kind of. So like either Tuesday or Wednesday is when I'll propose to her. So and then that's it.
And you're gonna do it? How you gonna do it?
Well, like since we're gonna be unpacking, I'll like try to. Well, I'll be able to be like, oh, I have a meeting today. I need to go pick this up or blah blah blah. And then I'll try to sneak it in the house, and I'll basically just put it like in a box, and then I'll just be on my knee handing her stuff from the box for her to put away, like in a closet, you know, or like, oh, here's this, blah blah blah, just handing it to her, and then I'll be like, oh, what's this? And there's one left thing left in the box. I'm already on my knee, and I'll give it to her, and she'll open it up, and I'll just be like, hey, will you marry me? Done. And she'll cry, I'm sure, and it'll be like, oh, yeah, this is cool. Let's just jump right to being married, you know. So yeah, it'll be cool. She's super nice, so it's like super cool. I can imagine doing without her. She's super supportive.
Yeah.
She's all about like. She was like, how do you? She was like calling me before the match. She's like, how do you feel? What's going on? And I'm like, you know, whatever. So like, it's cool. She's just more laid back, so it's cool.
Is she from where
she's from Michigan.
She's from Michigan. So you're relocating her.
Oh wow, yeah, and it's her first time leaving like away. Like she lived on her own in Michigan.
What's her name?
Her name's Brandy.
Okay.
With an I.
Ah.
Yes.
Yeah.
White type of name.
Yeah. The hot Brandy.
Yeah. But it's
the
her first time like not living by her family.
Right.
So like it's big, and she's younger than me too. So it's like. She was like, well, that's why she's super supportive. I was like, well, what are we going to do? And I was like, well, I can do what I can do anywhere. I can live anywhere in the world and teach jiu-jitsu.
Right.
You know, I was like, but where do we want to have a family?
Right.
And then she was like, well, by my family or yours. And I was like, well, Michigan sucks. I don't want to be rude to you, you know. And she goes,
sorry for all those Michigan people who listen to the podcast.
No, I'm not sorry to them. Yeah, I mean, they get it. Like, Michigan is great. You know, it's got its thing. It's just like, I'm not a Michigan dude. I've lived in
that's why there's
Miami.
millions of them here in Chicago.
Yeah.
Because Michigan's so fucking
lived
great.
in Miami, Philly, Las Vegas. It's just like I'm not into having to drive 40 minutes to get somewhere.
Sure.
I like being able to be around things that are 24 hours a day. I like to be able to go 10 minutes down the road. Like to have world-class jiu-jitsu, world-class training partners. Like Michigan is awesome. The people are awesome. It's just not my vibe.
Yeah.
And since my family's in the Philadelphia area, it's just like, okay, well, like we can go back to Philly or we can figure it out. And like I was actually this close to opening up like my own big thing in Michigan. And then I was just like, you know, like I don't think it's the best idea to do. Yeah. And then made the decision, pulled the trigger, and then that was it. Boom. So I mean, this has been manifesting for a couple months in the sense of like being serious, getting married, having a family. So it was like, this is what we're gonna do, and that was it.
I'll put a call into Elon Musk and have him build a bullet train from Michigan to Philly.
If we can go from Detroit to Philly, 5 minutes, no problem.
For Brandy.
Appreciate that, Musk. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like an hour and 10-minute flight. Super convenient. It's easy.
Yeah, it's not bad.
The airport in Philadelphia from where our apartment is, it's like 12 minutes. She could take an Uber with no driver in there if she wanted to, you know, like, so she can always go home. The flights are like $70 round trip, and she's cool with that. But her family's super awesome. Her dad's like super laid back. He's like, you know, I'll come to you guys. You come. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Did you do the whole thing? Ask permission.
Well, like we talked about it. Okay. It was actually funny because the last day we spent together, the last day that I was in there before I came to Chicago, we like all went out for the day. And her dad is super cool. He's like, we're like super similar. She's like, my dad does the same thing. I'm like, oh, this is creepy. So, but he's just like, there was a moment where we were eating, and then we left, and then like Brandy and her little sister were inside using the bathroom or something, and the dad was just like, you gonna take care of her? And I'm like, yeah, like she doesn't have to work, she doesn't have to do nothing, like she can do whatever she wants to do. And he's like, I'm a traditional man, you know? And like I knew what he was saying, like, okay, like I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm like, and then I later on, like it wasn't the time, I can't be like, hey, can I, because she'll come out any second, I don't want to, but he gets the vibe. And like I had a conversation with her, and I'm like, hey, like, you know, I just want you to know, like, I'm definitely gonna ask you for your permission. Knowing me, I'm not going to ask for permission. Like, hey, I'm going to marry your daughter. Like, your blessing. I'm not the kind of dude to ask people for their permission. So, but he'll respect that, and he'll be like, yeah, it's cool. But he's all about it. He knows I'm a good dude. I do my best to be respectful to her and whatnot. So I like her whole family. They're all awesome. Her brother, her sister. So we'll see how it works. Hopefully she says yes. We get married. She has
Yeah.
a couple male babies, boys, and then we just keep going from there.
You're jinxing
I
yourself.
mean,
you know
you got to
that, right?
do it now. You
Well,
can't
yeah.
like.
Oh no, no doubt.
I mean, this
whatsoever.
is
yeah,
going to
that's
blow
true.
up your spot for sure.
Yeah, this is definitely blowing up your spot.
I'm more confident in this than I am in anything else in my life.
You're
Yeah.
going to get a call in
This
a
is-
week. Edit
yeah.
that out.
Yeah.
Dude, listen, I
didn't
need a
find the
huge
right
favor.
time.
Yeah.
I need more
no.
time.
It'll be super cool. So I'm super excited about it. Like, it's good because like everything's happening at once. The move,
Right.
My own academy, Brandy's moving with me, being close to my family, getting engaged. So it's just
Right.
like, you know, and like this was the whole reason why I did jiu-jitsu, to be able to have these opportunities to create these kind of situations. So like I'll have a moment, and I think that's where like there'll be a lot of growth there, where like maybe I'll be pushing some things off my plate, and I'll be able to like understand more about competition again
Right.
and whatnot. But like it'll be super cool, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it'll just be like this is life. 29 years old now. This is how long it took for me to get here. So
Well, you're on another journey,
That's
another
it.
leg of the journey. That's all.
getting promoted to black belt on Tuesday.
That's it.
That's it.
Well, that's awesome, man. So, who are your sponsors?
Oh man, there's too many.
There's too many.
Moscova.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which we would love to have them sponsor. I would love to get a contact.
Moscova's a really cool. Moscova's a really good company. There's multiple people that are involved in the
Yeah.
business, but like Tony's the dude you want to talk to. I can connect you if you
Sweet.
want. Just
That'd be
like
great.
to, but like he's like a super down to earth dude. Great family guy. Like I love that dude. Like
Yeah.
there's very few people that like that sponsor me that are like outside of just business. Like that dude is like he'll text me like, hey, what's up? How are you? How are
Nice.
things? And I'm like,
Nice.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Not like,
yeah.
hey, make a post or like, hey, do this. I'm like, all right, cool. So Moscova, Keenan Online, Keenan's website, Hyperfly. Oh, there's so many. 3 Fuel, Unscared Inc. I'm gonna miss some. Break Industries, OC Industries, Hook Sweep, Steel Tattoos in Michigan, Under the Hood Productions. Oh, there's got to be more. Strike Movement. I think that's it. Atos
shit.
HQ. Yeah. Yeah, there's a decent amount of people in there, but
And where can people find you on social media?
just my full name, Kristian Woodmansee. It's with a K, so Kristian, and then Woodmansee is Woodmansee. So Instagram is at Kristian Woodmansee. You can add my personal page or fan page on Facebook. I don't use my fan page too much on Facebook. It's just for like boosting posts for seminars, but I'm really active on Instagram in the sense of posting. People message me, getting back to them about stuff like that, or people can add my personal account, whatnot. But yeah, that's about it.
But don't expect them to follow you.
Oh,
Right.
I guarantee you right now. Actually, it was 0 followers for a while, and then to show further support and understanding of how much Brandy means to me, she's the only person I follow. But she doesn't post too much. I don't have to see too much of her stuff. But, yeah, but
Love
like,
is in the air.
Yes.
love. Oh, so cute. He only follows his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Well, it's good. Give her. She's not the one that kind of like desires or needs like validation or security.
Right.
But like, I'm sure it's tough because like I don't have like taken by Brandy 143 heart like you know like it doesn't say anything about her, you know. I rarely, if at all, make posts about her, so like
Yeah.
because it's personal, like you know, like I don't need to tell the world like, hey, this is where I live, this is who lives there. Like I don't need that shit, you know.
Any
So
future ink on you with her? What do you think?
my objective is to become covered entirely except for my face. My mom said I can't get face tattoos, so
Okay.
hairline everywhere. But
Okay.
I'm taking it. I'm trying to go from here and bridge out.
I see.
Yeah.
That neck tattoo is
Yeah. So like, I mean,
so awesome.
I've got older tattoos,
Yeah.
but like the objective now is to like go into my hairline, go
wow.
down, and
Nice.
get
Yeah.
covered.
Most people do. They'll start on the chest and then it'll kind of creep its way up the neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kristian just went
Straight
neck
yeah.
first. Everything else will work out.
Well, the
as
thing
it.
is like it's like two things as tattoos where you go like this is commitment. It's hand tattoos and then like face or throat tattoos,
Sure.
right? So it's like, oh, you don't have a job.
Right, yeah.
Well, I do, but like I don't have to worry about what I'm wearing.
Right,
You know, so
exactly.
it's like it's all about it. Like, you know, that was it. So and it's actually out of all the tattoos I have, the throat was like not as painful as I thought it was going to be. So,
Really?
yeah. Well, I had this first, this saying here, and then I got everything else done. So I got that in Costa Rica when I met Adam.
Oh,
The
really?
next day, yeah. So like, I'm gonna go get a tattoo with a guy that I can't speak to since he speaks Spanish and I don't speak Spanish. So then did that to me. Then I was like, I'm gonna get the rest of my neck covered, and then that was it. So it was done.
It's dope. It looks awesome.
It was interesting. So I'm glad it's pleasing to look at. Man, people look at me a lot different. I have a decent amount of tattoos, and people are always like, "He's tattooed." And now
Right.
people are like, "Oh fuck, that dude's just got a black neck." You know, it's like this guy is either like a scumbag, degenerate, or something like that. People will cross the street, and I'm 4 feet tall, so I don't know why they're intimidated by me, but like, it helps. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. I got to get a black belt tattoo at some point in time.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's gonna work out, but.
And then a heart with a brandy, something like
The
that.
Brandy.
Arrow,
She's lucky.
arrow through it or something
Yeah,
like that.
If she gets one, I'll get one. But yeah, I was thinking about getting like a ring tattooed on my finger, but I've got my knuckles tattooed, so now I don't know how I'm gonna wear a ring, but I'll wear a necklace or something like that. But
Yeah.
I don't know how that works out, so I don't want to make her upset either. We'll see. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome, man. Well, it's great having you on the podcast.
Appreciate it, man.
It's
Thank you
been a
guys so much for having
blast.
me.
I know it's been, how many hours been going?
Over 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think we sat down like 1 something. So it was good,
Damn.
yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
it's good, man.
Thanks a lot,
Nice. No
Kristian.
All right, man. Well, good luck to you in all your endeavors.
Thank you so much.
Man.
Appreciate it.
And hopefully we get to train sometime.
Yeah, I'll be. I mean, I usually come to Chicago like once every 10 months.
Yeah, but I
especially
want
with
to actually
Redbird,
like
so.
be able to roll with you. Like
That's what I'm saying,
that's-
yeah.
You know, because
Well-
that last seminar, I was like, no one rolled afterwards. I was kind of like, oh man, I just want to roll with a
Yeah,
little guy,
yeah.
a little black belt. You know, it's
Yeah.
like fuck. You don't.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
I want to try. Next time I
feel.
come back, I want to do like teaching to the point to where like, because it's like hard for me to come and just like hang out.
Yeah.
Because it's like they're putting me up, so it's like I
Right.
got to teach and I want to be respectful. So like, but I'll like adjust the time to the point where it's like I'll get my teaching done within like half the time, and then have a couple days where I can go to different academies and roll and train. Because I had a bunch of people just like, oh, come here, we've got an open mat. Like, oh, can you come teach class? And I'm like, I'm already accounted for. I apologize, you know, and it's tough. But a lot of this was just I got to pay for rings and stuff like
Right,
that. So,
right.
But like, yeah, but I mean, like, I would love to come back next time and like spend more time getting acclimated with the outside world rather than just like I love the Redsvik crew, so it's awesome, but like it's tough to branch out of there because there's 3 locations and I'm constantly busy teaching. Like I taught like over 20 classes or something like that. So, but next time I'll come back, we'll definitely do something. And they wanted me to come to roll, but it just like I said, I was saying to him in the car, I didn't want to like water down the system with how much they've been doing because I want to be able to. I like to go there like once or twice a year. So next time I'll come back, I'll spend 5 or 6 days and just bounce around and train in places. But
Awesome.
we'll
I
definitely
just think that seminar should be like a 2-hour seminar and then half-hour roll or something like
It's
that.
tough, man. Like, personally speaking, like, it's tough to be the dude who teaches seminars and everybody wants to train because there's 30, 40, 50 other people that want to train with you or rip your head off, especially being smaller.
Right.
And there's, like, dude's 190. Like, you can't tell him no. He paid $60, $70 to be there, and he's expecting to roll with you, and you're like, okay, cool. And then, like, if you take it easy on him, he gets upset. And if you get hurt, you're going to be upset. So it's, like, super tough. But, like, that's why I try to go places and I always like teach a class and train and then do a seminar. So like if there's big dudes and like there's no training during the seminar, at least train with people beforehand. So like that's why when I'm at Adams, like I can teach class and train with everybody. So like when I teach a seminar and we don't train, they're like, well, we already trained.
Right,
It's cool,
exactly.
you know. But like I haven't trained. Last time I taught a seminar at Roll, I stayed for like a day or two and I trained. But it would have been nice to train during that Sophie seminar because there was a decent amount of people there. But it was just, I guess it was the timing and what was going on.
It was
just too tough.
late too. It was a night.
It was during the week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like a Monday or Wednesday. It was like 7 o'clock, and it was over at like nearly 10. It was
Yeah,
like, what?
we flew out to Vegas the very next morning.
Yeah.
I remember, yeah.
I agree with you though, Zito. I mean, 2 hours is enough. Like people
Yeah.
think like, oh, you know, I'll give them 3 hours. I'll really give them their money's worth. I don't know about people's attention spans nowadays. I mean,
I just think that you don't need to do that long. Well, here's the thing. At the seminar, we had Lucas Lete. Is that right?
Lucas Lecce, yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
and then
From Checkmat.
from Checkmat,
Yeah.
and then the other black belt, which is Marcelo Mafria or something like that.
Mafra.
Mafra.
Lapella.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes. So those two guys were
Just here.
Yeah. And the fucking seminar was amazing.
Yeah. No, they're both legit badass black belts. Yeah.
They like the warm ups we did. I thought were like they're like okay warm up and those are actual moves. I'm like we're fucking doing jujitsu. Like these
We're
warm
doing
ups
it
are
right
like
now.
they're great and they just kept drilling on us. He showed one move. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we rolled after that.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's
Good.
my
And
time.
it's gonna be in your repertoire.
I'm retaining just what we just worked out. Like just our warm ups were awesome.
Yeah.
And then that one move, that's all I need.
that's in your arsenal
Fuck,
forever.
That's in
now.
my arsenal.
Well, when you
I don't
go,
need 10 moves in a
when
seminar.
you go to a seminar, what are you looking for? Are you looking for like a concept? You're trying to learn a concept. Are you looking to learn techniques, X amount of techniques, a certain amount of techniques? Are you looking to like do techniques then train? Like what are if I had to say like picture perfect seminar, who is it and what are they doing? Go. What exactly are you
I would like
looking
to learn.
for?
I would like to take away one technique.
Yeah.
And train. I just need one. Show me something like because I've never trained with them.
What
and
if they
seen
show
them.
you something that's not your style?
Yeah, that would be.
That's what I'm saying, right?
yeah,
It's like it's tough.
It'd be
For
tough,
me
right.
personally, I would like to see like here's an awesome drill to work on.
Right.
Here's the technique of the day. You know,
Right.
like this is what I'm teaching at the seminar, and then let's roll.
Yeah.
Right. But I showed you what they showed us. Tell me that wasn't amazing.
Yeah,
It's
really
fu-
good.
It was like
Awesome
simple.
Should you do half guard stuff?
Yeah.
Lucas is a half guard, but he has his own style of half guard. They
Yeah.
call it like Lucas half. That's
Yeah.
literally what they say.
He
so.
didn't teach I did the no-gi on Friday afternoon. It was no-gi. And Marcelo,
Lapel's got sick footlocks too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't get to roll with either of those guys.
You don't want to roll Lapella. I think Lucas is more like, I've trained with Lucas. He's more like laid back. Lapella is a fucking tank.
Yeah.
I don't know, like maybe how he's different and maybe he teaches seminars, but yeah.
Yeah. But the guys I rolled with over there at Carlson were all great guys, man. I roll with Tommy too.
Yeah.
Yeah. He let me footlock him.
Talking about Uncle Tommy.
It's interesting to hear your takes on, like, especially from my point of view, like, what are you looking for in a seminar? Because you can't please everybody. It's super
No.
tough, but like everybody's looking for different. Some people just want to train.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like if you get a flat rate to come, right, and they're like, we need you to teach some stuff, then you're like, no, we're just going to train. They're going
Right.
to be like,
Right.
I don't need to facilitate paying you that much money for you to come and train.
Right.
It's tough because you got to make multiple people happy, but yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, and I just don't see the benefit of you showing me 10 fucking techniques, and it's like I don't remember. Do you remember that one? And then people are like, oh, we'll chain them together. It's different. You can't just. You're gonna forget something because you're not gonna rep it the next day. You're not gonna rep the day after. You just have that one day.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen people like take the approach like I'm going to show you one or two techniques very similar, and we're just going to work on them.
Right.
But then some people are like, "Cool, we just did it for an hour and a half. We still got an hour and a half left. Like, I'm kind of over it now." But somebody else is geeking out, like, "Yo, this is sick." Like,
Right.
it's so hard.
Yeah.
I teach differently than a lot of people, but like, it's like to try and please everybody. Like, there's always that one dude who's looking around and he's just like, "This is so stupid."
As a guy teaching seminars, I mean, how long are your seminars?
That's up to the host, 2 hours or 3 hours.
Oh, it's up to the host.
Well, I
Okay.
usually I'm very clear communicating with people. Like, okay, so what do you want to do? You want to do 2 hours, 3 hours? Like, do you want to do like a gi, no gi? Do you want to split it in half? Some people don't even ask me. They just say, this is what we're going to do. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's the price or whatever
Yeah.
it may be. But yeah.
And like, what do you feel like? Do you feel like you like doing 2 hour seminars or 3 hour seminars? Like, oh, like I didn't give them enough. I wish I had another hour. Or are you like, people I could tell are losing interest by hour two?
Well, for me as an instructor, it's important for me and it's my job to always keep people engaged. So like if I'm losing people, it's not because of their attention span, it's because of my ability to teach. So like I feel like a lot of this is based upon the instructor and what they're teaching, because I feel confident that like I could have a room of 2 people or a room of 200 people and teach the same technique with the same energy and still be able to keep everybody engaged. Mm-hmm. But that's your important role as an instructor. But like it depends. I mean, I think there's a time and a place for 2 hours and 3 hours. I think it depends on if like sometimes I have a specific concept that I'm trying to teach, you know? And depending on how many people are there, it may take that additional hour to get clear, like to be able to explain in different grammar until you everybody gets a light bulb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's my objective, is make sure everybody there's light bulb goes off. And sometimes in 2 hours, it's like, man, like we did a lot of stuff and people were like geeked out, but some people are still not 100, like their light bulb's like kind of like dim. They're like not 100% sure. I would have liked that extra hour to really been like, because some people you got to pull out of their shell. I'm like, hey, ask me a question if you're not sure.
Yeah.
Because you can tell they're not sure. And then they're like, I'm like, any questions? No. And then as soon as I walk over to the group, they're like, I need to ask you a question. And I'm like, ask in front of everybody because you're being selfish. Like maybe he has the same question and everybody can get better at this because if you ask, like, who knows, you know? But I usually teach very conceptually. I try to give people a very like if I teach something from bottom, I'm always talking about like if you're doing this from bottom, you should understand then how to reverse engineer it from top. So like I'm like like maybe I'm teaching something from Delahiva and people are like, I play close guard. And I'm like, that's cool, but one day you're gonna have to pass Delahiva. So understand what's going. So like it's like, but you've got to really sell people. Yeah. Sometimes people don't know what they want. They're kind of just like, I get it. And it's like, do you really? It's like, yeah, cool. Where's your black belt? Why are you here today? What did you come to learn? You know what I'm saying? So it's tough. And you get egotistical at the same point. It's like, man, like I like to go with people beforehand and see what their holes are. And you always have a good assessment of what people's holes are going to be right away. But it's like, this is what you need to work on. And some people are like, no, I don't believe that. And it's like, okay, cool. So what you're going to teach is just going to go right over their heads.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, because I can teach one move for 6 months in a curriculum over and over again. And then everybody will be 100% better. But when you've only got 2-3 hours, it's tough. Depends on the environment. Usually depends on the instructor of the environment. And like if he's a good instructor, his people learn a specific way, and then you're able to teach them. Mm-hmm. But like if he's kind of like, we don't do seminars too much, and like I just kind of teach 1 or 2 techniques a night, and then we roll, the people are just like, we just want to train. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is fine. we'll do that. Like I'll put the clock on, we'll tape our fingers, let's go, you know, but it changes from place to place.
Yeah.
I've gone some places and like people are looking at me like I've got 3 heads. Like I've gone to like an academy that's like all Gracie self-defense, like crazy, like parry, boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
right? And I'm like, what do you want me to teach? And the guy's like, oh, you can teach whatever you want, you know? And I've got this thing set up. And I'm like, okay, we'll do this, this, and that. And people are like, I'm like, okay, so we're in De La Riva. And someone's like, what's De La Riva? And I'm like, what? And they're like, what's De La Riva? And I'm like, you never been in this position? Like, I've never seen it before.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. So like I've got to on the spot change things up, or I've got to be like, well, we're just going to move forward with this, you know? And like, it's tough, you know? And like maybe 8 people show up. And it's like, well, I got a flat rate, so it is what it is, right? But then sometimes there's 80 people that show up. I've had seminars with like 70, 80 people, and you're like, there's a lot of people. How do I get to everybody? You'd need 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's tough. But maybe you teach a little bit less, give a little bit more, you know? But I try to like a 3-hour seminar, I would teach like minimum 6 techniques, but they all mesh, and they're very conceptual, and they're very like clear. They're very cut, like the way I explain it, and I present them to people. But it, like, you know, 2-hour seminar, I'd be like, hey, like, let's do this, this, and this. And like, let's break it down. Let's talk. Let's figure this out. And like, I'll give you this, this, and this, blah, blah, blah. And like, people are like, cool, I got it. I like to see people like 3 weeks later be like, I'm still using that move. Cool, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. But it's tough because, man, especially when you go to a place that does seminars, you've got a lot of competition. There's so many people teaching. Like, I've gone places and it's like, oh, Andre Galvao was just here. I'm like, yeah, I know he was just here. You know, and it's like, what'd he teach, you know? And they tell you, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, you know, like, and it's Andre Galvao. People are going to show up just because of his name, you know? So, like, you've got to be able to present. You've got to be able to, like, my objective is to always go somewhere, and people go, this is the best seminar I've ever had. Right. So, like, that's my objective. But, like, it's got to be, each one's unique, so it changes all the time.
Yeah.
We had Jiao Miao out here, right?
Joao's a freak. Both meows are
But
freaks.
he at the seminar, he's like, well, what do you want to learn here?
That was a private.
Oh, that was my private?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that was a private?
That was
Private.
a private.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. He asked me what I wanted to learn. He gave me 4 different things, and then I thought it was a. Oh yeah, right. It was a.
It was a personal seminar.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, it's a seminar. Just
Oh no,
private seminar.
Gabrielle did the same thing though. He said,
yeah, Marangoni. I
yeah,
think.
he said, what 4 things do you want to learn? Do you want to learn this, and then we all voted on what we wanted to learn.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know how
you
to
know,
say Gabrielle's last name. Do you know how to
I
say
don't Marangoli. Or
Yeah,
something like
there's
that?
a-
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Gabrielle.
Where's he from? What team?
He's Kyotera, Braza.
Gabrielle.
Featherweight.
Yeah, we're friends on
know.
Facebook.
I got nothing.
have no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, gotta go to social media. Look
Yeah,
at him.
I
I gotta pull it up. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I feel so bad now.
All right, we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah, but I gotta know his name now.
Okay.
But I
gotta know his name.
Gabrielle.
Wait, but how did?
Yeah, Marangoni. Marangoni, right? Yeah. You know him?
You don't know?
How was your
Yeah,
private with
yeah,
Joao?
Very good. He's English.
What did you pick?
He's English. I picked De La Riva.
Nice.
And it was awesome. His English is not bad. I'm just gonna say it right now.
Yeah. And then
Maybe
was
it's
it
communic. I don't know. I was
Yeah.
like,
He plays and then he speaks and
What
then he
the
plays
fuck?
and then he speaks.
because Piahi was with you, right? And he
Piahi's
was
with me.
like air quotes translating.
Translating, but-
yeah,
you
but
you didn't need him to translate or anything like that.
well, I mean, we keep hearing stories that the Miao brothers speak,
speak
like
perfect English.
fucking Queen's English. You know what I mean?
right.
I wouldn't doubt it because I mean now that they're in the U.S. and teaching, but
Right.
like I've never taken their classes, so I don't know. Every time I see them, they're just like,
Yeah. Exactly.
so it's like, and I've been like, hey, what's up, man? Like,
Yeah. Nod and
you good?
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's
They're super
you
cool
did a good
dudes.
impression.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
how they are.
Waddling. They've got like some kind of container with food in it. You know,
Yeah.
just doing their thing.
Their hands are like
Mangled.
mangled.
Yeah.
Ears are mangled.
It literally looks like they put their like hands into like a shark or something like that, and they took them out. And they're just like
Yeah.
that creepy guy from that scary movie where he's like,
Right.
grab my strong hand and it just got the weird knuckles. And
Yeah. And you can tell they don't fucking tap to anything. And
Man, did you see Apollo with his foot at Berkut, the ACB
No.
fights? Dude, they said that he broke his foot in the first fight, and then he just like, and it was a bad foot lock, and they just came back and just ripped everybody. But like, they're like, his foot is definitely broken.
Yeah.
He's just like,
Fucking savage, dude.
Fuck
my
that.
foot is broke. They don't tap. What I was told is that they put each other in different footlock submissions, and they like maintain eye contact and they crank it to the point to where they're about to tap and they hold to stretch the ligaments and the tendons and everything else like that, and they relax.
I
and they
believe
go
that.
back and they do it again, and then they
that
build up their
100%.
strength and their endurance in the position.
Wow.
That's what I heard they do. But like, I mean, remember the fight? What was it? Joao or Paulo versus Gary at that 5 thing? That was disturbing.
Yeah.
I was like, I literally caught myself from vomiting in my own mouth. I was like, ugh, like what's going on here? I put people in some bad leg locks, but like I'm looking at him, he's just like nothing, no expression, no nothing, just like my knee's about to break, no problem. Wow. And Gary's got torque, and you know how good his leg locks. I mean, then it was like when he was coming, like, oh my god, they're freaks.
Yeah, they're just not tapping.
I can't wait to see him versus Eddie, to see the leg lock exchanges, to see like how he kind of like nulls everything out, and like if he taps, if he's gonna tap, like I don't know what's gonna happen there. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
That's soon, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's in New York, right?
Yeah, it's in New York.
Oh yeah.
We'll see. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. We'll see you guys later.
Thanks.
All right, see you guys.
Bye. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Grappler Union. Siri, how can our listeners find out more info?
For more information about Grappler Union, you can visit them on the web at grapplerunion.com or follow them on Instagram and on Twitter at Grappler Union. Like them on Facebook at facebook.com/Grappler Union. Also be sure to subscribe on iTunes. All episodes are available on the Grappler Union YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Anthony, I really enjoyed the podcast. Can't wait to hear the next one.
Thanks, Siri.